History isn't just what happened, it's who.
Danfall offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfall, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfall, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfall, Africa. To learn more, visit danfall.africa.
History isn't just what happened, it's who we are. And now you can explore Africa's incredible past like never before. Introducing the new and engaging course catalog from aelearning.net, a world-class provider of interactive e-learning focused on Africa's rich and diverse history. From the rise of ancient Nubia and the power of the Mali Empire, to the architectural wonders of Egypt and the development of astrological knowledge by the Dogon people, each self-paced course brings history to life through stunning visuals, immersive video lessons, and interactive assessments. Designed for students, educators, and lifelong learners around the world, AE Learning's courses make discovering Africa's story easier, deeper, and more engaging than ever. With AE Learning, education meets flexibility. Whether you're a student, teacher, or lifelong learner, our platform gives you access to credible knowledge, rich multimedia lessons, and tools that make learning African history engaging and unforgettable. Join thousands of learners already rediscovering Africa's past and shaping its future. Visit www.aelearning.net today. Start your journey through Africa's past today, because the story of Africa is the story of us all. AE Learning, inspiration through high-quality education.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Research for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Also, we are so close. We are so close to rolling to Senegal, and I am looking forward to it. I cannot wait to get to Senegal. We are going to have an awesome time in Senegal. Awesome time. I am looking forward to it. Listen, if you're a last minute traveler, like last minute, like I gotta just go, I gotta get to Senegal, but wasn't really ready to go, but I want to go. Well, come. So we're rolling May 9th through the 18th. May 9th through the 18th, we're rolling to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. If you're interested in joining, please visit Danfall. That's DANFO. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Y'all stop it. That's DANFO.Africa. That is DANFO.Africa if you're interested in going. Guys, I got on my old school Georgia strength and conditioning t-shirt. Y'all, the old school throwback. I just left the gym, and again, I just left the gym. I grabbed some lunch. bought some plants, and I was like, look, I can't be too late for the show. So we're just gonna have to do the show as is. All right. Cause I'm coming to y'all as is. So I haven't even took a shower yet. I know that's a little too much information, but yeah, I just came home and hopped right in the chair and clicked stream on StreamYard. So yeah, so that's what's going on. But anyways, if you'd like to join us in Senegal, please visit Danfall. That's DANFO .Africa. Again, that's Danfall. Laugh out loud. Yeah. I'm being dead serious. That's Danfall, DANFO .Africa to learn more. We would love to host you guys on one of our many excursions. Again, we'll love to, have you guys join us on one of our many excursions. I love Ghana. What are you talking about? I love Ghana. Also, we're going to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. Where else we going? Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival, Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue, and Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, along with Sierra Leone in November as well. So please visit Danfall, that's DANFO .Africa to learn more. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. But I want to share some breaking news. It's kind of off topic, but it's it's relevant, I guess. It's off topic, but it's relevant. The Strait of Hormuz is back open. The Strait of Hormuz is back open. Just want to go over some current events real quick before we jump into today's topic about what John Muhammad said about Nigerians, which he kind of has a point. He kind of has a point. But this is on Al Jazeera.
We just want to bring you more on our breaking news. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has just announced that in line with the ceasefire in Lebanon, the passage for all commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz is declared completely open for the remaining period of the ceasefire. He has just tweeted this only a few minutes ago. We're going to go to our chief US correspondent, Alan Fisher now. He joins us from Washington, D.C., from the White House. Alan, this is a significant moment, isn't it? Especially coming not long after Donald Trump said he was optimistic that talks could potentially resume, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, as we've said in the last couple of days, these things tend to be staged. It's you do this, then we do that. If this happens, then that happens. And that could well be what we're seeing, a sequencing of things moving towards more significant talks with Iran. One of Iran's demands was, of course, that there was a ceasefire in Lebanon. The United States may well have said, and we've nothing to back this up, but certainly if you read the tea leaves, it suggests, look, if we get the ceasefire in Lebanon, then we open up the Strait of Hormuz. The big question mark over all of this, of course, is what America does next, because they have the blockade of Iranian ports. They've said that nothing is coming in or coming out. They've interdicted a number of vessels that have already made that journey. They have stopped a couple of oil tankers that were coming out of Iran in the last 24 hours. So what do they do next? Is this part of the sequencing, or does that stay in place because they believe that's an important pressure point for Iran and also for those who support Iran or do business with Iran, the likes of China, to get them to a negotiating table and then to deliver on a peace deal? Now, I don't think there's any issue with getting Iran to the negotiating table. It's what's actually agreed when they get there and whether or not they are actually open to some of the US demands. But clearly, the US has been open to what Iran has been saying, because they have said, look, we want a ceasefire in Lebanon as part of this. That has been delivered by and large. But then the next step, obviously, was you open up the Strait of Hormuz. We might be reading too much into this.
All right, so that's that. Let's see here. Let's get into John Muhammad, what he said, what he had to say about Nigerians, which, I mean, he kind of has a point. He kind of has a point.
I mean, when you have cousins, Nigeria is of keen security interest to us. If Nigeria does well, Ghana does well. I mean, when you have cousins, 250 million of them, you want them to do well so that 1 million of them don't come drifting towards a small country like Ghana. So every day I wake up, I pray for Nigeria. I say, God, let Nigeria get their act together. And so I remember when a lot of the people in Ghana migrated from Nigeria. They find their roots from the Yoruba kingdoms and all that. And so the Ghana people and all, migrated from Nigeria. And so Nigeria is of keen security interest to us. If Nigeria does well, Ghana does well. I mean, when you have cousins, 250 million of them.
Well, he does have a point. If Nigeria is not stable, I mean, people are going to leave the country. I mean, that's just the reality of it. He has no point. The people mostly affected by the insecurity, mostly in the many rural communities of parts of northern Nigeria, do not travel or will not travel to Ghana. Now, you have a point as well. Because in Nigeria right now, as far as people who are migrating to Nigeria, it's predominantly, you got a point, it's Igbos, a lot of Igbos, some Yorubas, but predominantly Igbos. In fact, Igbos are all over. As someone once said, if you go somewhere and the Igbo man is not there, there's no money there. But you do have a point that these Hassa Fulanis who are in northern Nigeria aren't necessarily going to Ghana. Because you rarely see Hassa Fulanis here in America. It's predominantly Igbos. And if you run into a Nigerian here in America, it's going to be Igbo. If you run to a Nigerian in Sierra Leone, it's more than likely going to be Igbo or Yoruba. So he has a point. Right, you're right. It's the Southerners who do migrate. You do have a point. And I would say they're probably least affected by what's going on. I'm gonna write a article on this. As of right now, you guys could disagree. Southwestern Nigeria currently is saving Nigeria. You can say the Southwest and the South. They are saving Nigeria. They are the hope for Nigeria. The Southwest and the Southwest. I mean, and some of the South, but really the Southwest. And I'll get into the reason why. The Southwest is really the shining light. There we go. The shining light of Nigeria. But at the same time, Oki, the people in the north, I'm sure they're going to Niger, Cameroon, as far as migrating. I wonder if we could look that up. But I'll put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. I will put the link in the chat room. Even the Southeast is 70% peaceful now compared to Buhari's time. Okay, since Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa have been arrested. Oh, let me show you this real quick. Where's this at? Have you guys seen this jihadi rehabilitation program for the Nigerian jihadists? Have you guys seen that? Yeah. Okay, cool. One of my phones is locked, SIM locked. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Everyone, that's John Cashin. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know about this jihadist rehabilitation program they have in Nigeria. Are you guys familiar with it? For the forgiving terrorists? Like, they really have one. They have a rehabilitation program for them. And I think they just took, they just had a graduation ceremony for like, here we go right here. Yeah, this is it right here. Hold on. I think this is the video right here, guys. Let me put this over here real quick. This is crazy. So this is probably the reason why they necessarily don't have to migrate, because they could just, well, hold on, that's a little off topic, but here we go. Look at this. No sound. Over 700 repentant terrorists set for reintegration into society. This is embarrassing. Did they serve any type of prison time at all, or?
Military does not recruit people from the Operation Safe Corridor. The military has its own process, systems, and procedure for enlisting people into the military. So this is part of the challenges Operation Safe Corridor is facing: challenge of misrepresentation, challenge of misinformation, challenge of disinformation.
Cashinova, go ahead.
Peace. How you doing, Dynast?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for asking. I don't know if you saw my in the comment section. My wife hate Ghana, bro.
You said what?
My wife thinks you hate Ghana.
I don't. I love Ghana. Why would I hate Ghana?
She was like, every time she hear you talking about Ghana, it's always something unfavorable. I'm like, Dinah's got like an objective, view on it.
No, I like Ghana.
In the fight.
I like Ghana.
Yeah. You're gonna have to convince her. But as far as what the president said, there's some validity to it. I think they got bigger fish to be frying than to be worrying about Nigerians coming and overpopulating Ghana, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got a real bad illegal mining problem over there. Galamsey, they call it. and it's really polluting all of the water bodies. So like a lot of people got like lead and arsenic, and like these defects are starting to show in like babies that are being born in these areas. So I think that's much more of a serious problem for the president to be talking about. But like it seems like Ghana, like every president they have is that they get goofier and goofier. Like he seemed to be okay when he first got in there, but now it's like, like what you doing? Like what's the end game? Like he been playing both sides with the Burkina Faso thing and the United States, and that's smart. I think that's smart. But what are you doing to deal with like illegal Chinese miners that are like just polluting everything in Ghana?
You got a point there. Go ahead, V. Unmute yourself, V. V, unmute yourself.
Oh, hi guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Hello, Dennis. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Yeah, it's Ghana back on the topic again, isn't it? We can't seem to get away from Ghana. And
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, with regards to the president, I'm very disappointed in what he said. You have a problem in your country, and it is something that they need to deal with. For him coming there to say, "Oh, I'm praying for Nigeria to get better," praying for what? Why do you need to pray for? Take effective measures that will protect yourself and your people, and let Nigeria worry about themselves. I just don't get our leaders now. He's all over the place. Yeah, we have many problems in the country. Since he came in, a lot of things have exploded and it's getting out of hand regarding the illegal mining. Now the Chinese that were involved, they're reasonably being controlled, but it's now been done by Ghanaians and other West African nationals that taken on to themselves to do the illegal mining, and there are also political operators involved as well. Ghana is in a mess. I'm sorry to say that. For a nation like Ghana, from at the time of our independence, we're about 60 odd years old now, and there isn't much to show for it as a nation. Sometimes when you speak Ghanaians, we say, "Oh, you're talking down your country." I'm not. If Ghana is doing well, I'll be very glad, because it's a country I love. I love my culture. I love my people. I never shy away wherever I go from the fact that I'm a Ghanaian. I like the tradition that I was brought up in, and yet we have political leaders that don't seem to know their left from right leading us. This man shouldn't have been voted for at all. This man shouldn't have been voted for, but the Ghanaians went and voted for him. Now they're suffering the consequences. Let them deal with it. Since he came in, they claimed the previous government was corrupt. Yes, there was an element of corruption going on with them. And Ghanaians voted for you so that you come in and help the situation. But it's gotten worse. The corruption has just ballooned. The country now is teetering on bankruptcy. They can't even pay staff. They can't pay civil servants like teachers and nurses. Can you imagine?
I heard the Ghanaian people voted for him because he wear a fugu.
He was what?
They say they voted for him in Ghana because he wear a fugu and he from the north.
No. That they voted for him all over. I mean, he got votes from even places that they never got him vote from. He got vote from that. A lot of Akans voted for him. And Akans are huge in numbers. So even if you get 20 or 25%, you're bound to win the election. And a lot of them did vote for him because they claimed that the previous government was riddled with corruption. Yeah, there was an element of corruption. There's always element of corruption with African governments. But there's a certain aspect of the previous government that they were also doing well, that saying helping the indigenous people. They were fighting the Galamsey, being very strict. That cost them a lot of vote. The previous government cost them a lot of vote because they were going around. But when they were fighting it, their own people also went around the back, got involved in the Galamsey. So it picks the people up that you stopping us doing. Now your political operators are involved. I mean, I can go on all night talking about what is going on in the country. There is no grip. There is no strong leadership. And Ghana need a strong leadership. And that's why a lot of the youth are gravitating towards the Sahelians. It's not that they like military coup. Ghanaians per se, in general, do not like military coup because there was a lot of problem when we had a military takeover. We had several succession of them. Some did good, some did not do that well. You know, some also came in with their own persecution. And that sort of that memory sort of lingers with a lot of Ghanaians, so particularly of a certain age group. So they hate military coups. But they are now saying that they say it even in Ghana. That is the reason why he's gone to the French and gone to the US and the French. They just to back it, just to support him. He's afraid of military coup. So in case that the military wants to take over, the Americans and the French will stop them. That is why he's gone there. It's nothing to do with the Sahelians. He's not going there to do any harm to the Sahelians. I don't believe so. He's going there for self-preservation because Ghanaians are openly saying that they would prefer a military coup, which is something that I never thought I would hear from Ghanaians because they are fed up with all these shallow politicians coming, tell you one story and they're doing the other. Our institutions are weak. The politicians constantly weaken the institutions. You know, they're just causing a lot of mess. So people are fed up with democracy. Can you imagine? Something that gives you opportunity because they came in, they told such a really fantastic story. Oh, I've been here before. I know what happened. These people that you got in, they're terrible. They're the worst of the worst. You know, I'm going to come in, do better. I'm going to make sure I bring in employment. I'm going to stop the Galamsey. I'm going to do. He said a lot of things because I was there during the time they were having the election. And I used to speak to friends because I don't vote in Ghana because not that I don't like democracy because I think they're all liars anyway. So I don't really waste my time to get myself stressed up about them. So I was asking family and friends and oh, what do you think? Oh, we don't know. He might do better. Oh, maybe he's changed. Now the same family and friends are coming. Sometimes you have a conversation. Oh, I don't know why I voted for this man for. It is a complete mess. You know there is a problem. Nigerians, the criminal aspect that's coming with it. It's not Nigerians per se. There's a lot of good Nigerians in Ghana doing their own thing. But then now, the Nigerians are having it tough within. I mean, if you go to, the Europeans have been in Ghana for a while. Houses used to come. And they live reasonably okay. But you had a huge influx of Igbos that if you go to certain villages, apparently, that's the whole lot of them have moved into Ghana and they come in with this attitude. You know, the Igbos have a certain attitude about them that they want to dominate, and the Ghanaians are not having it. Yesterday, somebody was saying, oh, the Ghanaians stood up and were complaining that they were having an Igbo king, and they're giving a kingship to Europeans. Sometimes, you know, as I always said, it is good to look at the history and the reasons behind it. Those Europeans that you talk about, they're giving them, they're not kings. It's like an honoring, you know, they call them developmental kings or developmental chiefs. And Koswahini, that is the name for them. And even a Nigerian could get in Koswahini. This Igbo guy that went around and wanted to be an Igbo king, it was the Gang chiefs who installed him to be an Igbo leader. And then he has gone beyond what they installed him to do. Any community that lives in Ghana, they have their own leaders, and they have to be approved by the local indigenous traditional ruling council, saying that, okay, you present this person, we accept them as your leader, and he will lead your community. If there's any problem going on between your community and the indigens, we will liaison through you. Well, so they gave him that opportunity, and then he's gone beyond that. He wants to set up his own, and he has actually, in a certain sense, set it up, his own council and so forth, which is not done, which is not acceptable to our traditional rules and so forth, you know. So
all right, V 30 seconds, and I gotta pass the mic.
Yeah. And so with regards to the Europeans, that when they call you a developmental chiefs, your sole aim is sometimes they've set up a factory or they build up a most of them that sort of open up businesses, and sometimes they open up a huge business within the locality where they are, giving huge employment to people. And then the traditional rulers will sit there and say, let's give him a title to honor what he has done. He has no power, he has no control, he cannot even get involved with any community business. All he would do is to be, help to run his business or give employment opportunities to people or doing something good in a community. This is the same thing that they give to all the diasporans that have been coming to Ghana, So, I mean, I know about one or two of them there, but nobody's been given authority as and our traditional leaders do have a very strong authority.
I got to read the super chat and pass the mic. Let's see your flavors of the continent 7195. Thank you for $10 holla. The lady clearly does not know what the heck she's talking about. Muhammad is doing a great job. The economy is good. The currency is good. The previous government destroyed the economy of Ghana. Go ahead, Kidola.
Oh yeah, thank you, Dan. Yeah, what am I going to say? Since Nigeria now become under these southern people, which are part of the South also, Nigeria become kind of like worst. Mama have I have some point about praying for Nigeria. You see, the people that are coming to Ghana are the Igbos, really. The majority of them are the Igbos. Those Yorubas this woman is talking about, they've been in Ghana since 80-something. Can you call those Nigerians anymore? People that have been in your country since 80-something. You still refer to them as Nigerians. So when the Igapo came to Ghana, another people migrate to Ghana. You see, the Hausa people know how to treat Ghana very well. You see, this brother, when any Satan enter power, what they did to Obasanjo, now they're doing it to Jonathan. These Satan leaders are the most corrupt people that carry our money and enter Ghana. Some of them build hotels. Some of them do some certain things. Even one said he opened a restaurants that it took him 7 years before he could get his plate be clear from the wharf. You see, Ghana can lure you in and call you brother. Oh, you know what, brother? They deal with you. Not today. Even when J.J. Rollins was alive, J.J. Rollins was persuading Babangida to throw away that Togo leader. Yadima, whatever is his name. Why? He says he's stopping him when anytime he's coming to Nigeria by car. What you see in Nigeria now is a big time corrupt people. With corruption, you have disaster. You understand me? I pray for a notary leader to come to Nigeria one day. Babangida, why did they hear this border of 18 when they put that border boundary between Ghana and Nigeria? You understand me? And this so-called brother of 18 in so-called is only when you Nigeria open pocket. With the Ghanaians, they say Nigeria never borrowed their money when they could not go to IMF. During 1990, so-called our African something Babangida shared all kind of Mercedes-Benz to all leaders at that time. We were surprised. That was Mercedes-Benz SF 500 or 560. Going to Ghana is not outside people that is going to Ghana. Is this Igbos? This lady is not talking about these Igbos who are stationed in Ghana, demarketing Nigeria. If you go to Ghana, you see a lot of Nigerians there. Oh, you are good Nigeria. Oh, you are good this. Oh, you are good that. But you can't handle the moment those people criticize them, fuck out of our country. You get what I mean? The Yorubas are the one that drove Ghana out of Nigeria. Not other people. It's the Yorubas in Lagos that said Ghana must go. Not even deep to the Benin, to the Port Harcourt people, all those ones. We never know people living in Ghana because some of these Ghanaians married to our Nigerian women. They were staying there. In Lagos, they didn't have to leave. That's why they could walk to the border and put them on the tree. But a Ghanaian person will never talk about 1960 something when they dropped Nigeria out the first time. Under the Civil War. How about 1950 something? Even before Ghana independence. Who are these people doing this thing? The most people that hate Nigerians are the Accra people. The so-called Ashanti. Not the other ones. Not the gas. You know? So, I'm not going to talk about Ghana. It's Nigeria that have to solve their problem. If by the grace of God, let us bounce back again, this corruption can be contained. Nothing that goes up, anything that goes up will surely come down one day. All these people that are eating now, you know, making carry our money going back in Ghana. Or some of those days, go and be building societies in Ghana. You know, it's the southern leaders, not the northern leaders. Outside man have no houses in Ghana. Is this the same Igbos that are going to Ghana that the one that start building houses in Ghana? So Nigeria is big. So we should, by saying pray for Nigeria, he just throw a shot into Nigeria. Like, it's not really on a good way. He said it, but he have a point. But he just throw a shot. It's kind of like a betrayer that Nigeria is passing through societies. You ask me, since we will be fighting Boko Haram. Have Nigeria ever asked Ghana to come and help them? Or bring your military to come and help us? We still invest in Ghana, commercially, banking system and everything. You know, things are still going on. But why just throwing that shot, pray for Ghana? Who do you want to impress? The white people that you're going to shake hands with? We have bad leaders at this moment now. And I hope that Nigeria should get to their sense. If these Igbos want to remain in Ghana, God bless them. I hope they will drive them up there. But the Ghana should drive those. Look at this internet. Who try to demarket Nigeria? It's Ghanaians. Do you trust Nigeria? Do you trust Nigeria? Dennis, let me just tell you the truth. Even in Europe, if you have a girlfriend, a white girlfriend, or a foreign girlfriend, though that Ghana person knows your girlfriend, it will say, oh, wait, do you trust Nigeria? Be careful. This is where they do. This is where they do. This is where they do.
You got 30 seconds. I got to pass the mic to.
Okay, so try not a shot at an important stage like that, or that Pan-Africanism nonsense. Say, pray for Nigeria. Pray for what? We can take care of our own shit, you know. But it was not. It's not for love. It was like a shot in the bow. Like, hey, this country is fucking up, man. Fuck them. That's what they always do. You throw the first shot first, when Nigeria shoot back, you say, oh, no. Let's see. But Nigeria is heavily corrupt, bro. You have a point. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, God's gift.
Hello to you all. So what I wanna say in regards to what the Ghana government said about Nigeria. I mean, I think Nigeria has always had a problem because the status quo has never really been challenged successfully. Like, so the system has never really been challenged where a new system comes into play. You know, so I've always said that. The system in Nigeria doesn't work for the people. It doesn't work for the general public. You know, it works for only certain elites. Until that system is overrid, I mean, the country is not going to develop because the current establishment there, they don't really have an interest of developing the country. You see, so that's where the problem comes in as well. You know, that's where you get all this migration and, you know, a lot of people from Nigeria are trying to escape. So I think that, you know, that's something that needs to happen. You know, it needs to happen just like Burkina Faso. that needs to happen. It needs to come a time where the people have to, have that uprising, to take back their sovereignty, because you can tell that the country is not sovereign. They don't have their full sovereignty. There's external forces in the background, which is meddling in and hindering the country from progressing. So I think that's what Nigeria needs to do. That's what they need to do, in order to move forward. And the other thing as well, which I have seen, because I'm based in the UK, and in the UK, there's different generations. There's different generations of people, people who have migrated from, different times, different timing, some first generation, some second, some even third and fourth, from different times. But what I find is that when Nigerians, especially Nigerians, when they travel to different countries, sometimes their presence, their influence, like overrides the current establishment. Because sometimes, you go into a certain place and there's already a establishment, there's already like a setup there. And I think Nigerians are very, obviously, how can I put it? They're very influential, So sometimes they tend to take over the system, the current system, which in terms causes conflict. It causes conflict with the current establishment that is already in place. Because you've got people in certain places, they've been living there for obviously generations. They've got some, they've got some lineage, and for a next establishment to come on top, that's only going to cause conflict. So that's what we're seeing, around in certain places where Nigerians have immigrated to. That's the problem right there. And it's happening in a lot of places, South Africa, you go to UK, you go to the States as well, So sometimes I think what needs to happen is that when Nigerians travel out, sometimes I think it's best just to take a step back and sometimes be an observer, just observe. It's not everywhere that you have to overpower and override and try and try and be the boss or try and take over the whole establishment. Sometimes you just have to sit back and just take in pointers and just learn. There's a lot that you can get. Sometimes you benefit more from just staying on the sideline and just learning and just picking up stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, that's not what's happening. And from that, there's a lot of uprisings and a lot of disparities, with Nigerians and other local indigenous, populations, which is causing the conflict. That's why, all this reputation, is coming out. Coming out with Nigerians, and there's a lot of word going around because it's the same patterns. But yeah, I think that's what Nigerians need to do, in order to move forward. So yeah.
All right, go ahead, CD. Unmute yourself, CD.
Hey guys, this is everybody. Yeah, my view on both Nigeria and how you doing, Africa? How you doing, Dennis? So my view on
Very good, thank you.
yeah, man. So my view on both Nigeria and Ghana, I like somehow I like the attitude of Nigerians, right? Because for some other reason, I would like someone to be truthful to me than backstabbing. I think Ghanaians, they are quick on backstabbing people and laugh in your face. And that's the issue that I have with Ghanaians. Nigerians, you will say they are loud, they are arrogant, but they will always tell you how they feel about you. I have no nothing against Nigerians. I have nothing against Ghanaians. They both are my friends in New York City. I went to the same school with them. But sometimes I like the attitude of Nigerians. Uh, they don't they don't actually believe in backstabbing somehow. They are always truthful when it comes down to expressing their feeling. Whereas in the case of Ghanaians, you know, they are almost like a snake in the grass, you know. It's very hard for you to know how they feel about you, you know. The only problem in Nigeria is once they get it right, because they have all the means to get it right in terms of the resources that they have or with their population. I think once they get it right, the other the other rest of Africa will get it right, you know, because they are the biggest black nation, so far, and we're all praying that it should get it right. And people, yeah, they have Nigeria that have, commit crime. We know that very well. But at the same time, they have more productive Nigerians, because I went to school with both of them. Ghanaians, yes, same as Ghanaians, they have a lot of smart Ghanaians that I'm friendly with in New York. But dealing with both of them, I'm more comfortable with Nigerians than Ghanaians, you know. Uh, Someone was talking about the leadership in Ghana. I think uh, John Mahama seems to be doing fine when you look at it economically. When you look at the prospect that he had made so far, Ghana CD before he could come into power, Ghana CD was 15 to a dollar. Right now, it's like 10 Ghana CD to a dollar. So he have fight inflation a lot. Before he could come, Ghana CD was in free fall, right? So the other guy, I think he was more corrupt, or what his name, or Nana Kufu-Addo. He was very, very corrupt. Even in the beginning of this year, they arrested his finance minister that right now is serving extradition proceeding. They have initiated that against him. He was arrested by ICE, but he stole $500 million from the Ghanaian government. That was the finance minister for Nana Kufu-Addo. So I think he was very, very corrupt. He went as far as being statues for himself. I think little Ghanaians went in and destroyed it. So he was more of like a scammer to me, right? So when he come to the US, he see successful black people. You always quote from Peter Tosh that he said, "I don't care where you come from, as long as you are a black man, you are an African." So you always make that quote in terms of you know attracting successful black people, especially African Americans. But at the same time, they scamming them. But yeah, Nigeria, they just have a bad leader, which is this guy that is in power right now. He's a complete mess. But other than that, if Nigeria can get it right, the entire black will be liberated. But with the price, with the thing that Ghana is Ghana, you can't trust Ghana, even with the leadership, if the country as a whole, they play games with the other Africans, and you don't even know which side they are really taking, right? So that's the only issue that I have with the Ghanaians. You can trust them. The leadership, even I always mention it, even the slave Dorjan, that should not be a place for Ghana to be making money out of, especially overcharging black people from here. That's a big shame. And when they initiated the slavery, everything that we black people went through as a
30,
slave, it
30
was
seconds. CD, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
yeah, it was initiated by Ghanaians. So it's just a shame that they have to exploit the other black people to making money out of them. But other than that, I think John Mahama is far better than this Nana Akufo-Addo. You know, that ugly guy, the guy with big head, with flat hair, he was a mess, you know. But I'll learn for now.
All right, go ahead, Africa. Let me read the super chat first. City is just a hater. How we know he isn't a snake? All right, go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, greetings to everyone. Dennis, the panel and the chat. I hope the body fine. First of all, I think in terms of the Ghanaian and Nigerian situation, it seems to be a very long historical issue going on between the two nations. Ghana must go, Nigeria must go, and stuff like that. That's what I'm noticing. And also the Ghanaian president comment, it seems like he's kind of basically sneak this in Nigeria, which I think is uncalled for, because at the moment we all know Nigeria is not in a perfect, situation. They're going through a lot of insecurity in the north, and the southeast, and also we know the country, need more support than been, criticized, from another leader. I think that's a low blow, because if Ghana is trying to, be parading as a nation of Pan-Africans, they should actually, that should have been thought through properly. I mean, where I agree with Ola, my brother, is, thank you. What you're one of the few Nigerians I know that come online, that speak the truth, and I do commend you a lot for that. There is what I know is from the majority ethnic group that come to Ghana who causing problem. I don't think it's all Nigerians. It's the one group of ethnic. I don't like to name names, but I think he's from the southeastern region. That Ola mentioned, and I have spoken to a few Ghanaians over here, and I've tried to get the in-depth situation. They think it's an ethnic group. They do not represent Nigeria well, not only in Ghana but anywhere they go, and stuff like that. But I don't think that's also that terms of generalization, because I wouldn't say it's every ethnic group from the southeast that actually behave like that. You must have a good ones out of them that actually, are good people anywhere they go, they probably business like and stuff like that. But the reality is, we do have this lazy, mindset in West Africa in general with the internet, that I do not see any other region behave like this, especially from Nigeria and Ghana. They tend to generalize a lot. They will actually generalize the entire ethnic group or entire nation. So the reality is Ghana is, Nigeria is suffering from the same thing that they do to other ethnic group and other people. So you can see that manifest globally. The way they demonize another ethnic group in their nation is the same way they've been demonized by the rest of the world. It's absolutely disgusting. It's kind of manifest on lack of patriotism, in the people. And this is the medicine that you get as a nation if you don't come together, and actually protect yourself from, the things that you do on the internet. Stop generalizing an ethnic group or a religion or a region. People look at you the same, regardless. If you have a group of black people who will actually go out there and disrespect their skin color, don't expect other people to respect you. They wouldn't do it, because you're actually selling yourself. How you sell yourself, that's how the world will buy you. If you sell yourself cheap, they will buy you cheap. Okay? So, as I said the other day, people need to start valuing themselves. Stop the generalization of other ethnic group, so people will not generalize you. Because not all Nigerians are bad, not all Ghanaians are bad. They're good and bad in all people. So, this is a problem, and it's no good to see another African leader speaking ill of another nation that are neighbors, in such way, because in this could actually spill some diplomatic issue, and there are nations that people that live between the two countries. There must be Ghanaians who live in Nigeria making money. We all know that Nigerians who are heavily investing in Ghana, who are helping Ghanaians economy build themselves and helping Ghanaian people and employing them. So this is a problem. We need to leave these lazy terms of generalization. If we cannot speak in a certain way, don't say at all. And I think this is how we manage it in the far west. I must give ourselves credit. Countries like Sierra Leone, Guinea, Senegal, Ivory Coast. We actually, Gambia and so on. We tend to be more civilized when we deal with and how we speak about other people. We don't generalize. If it's an ethnic group, we'll not say the entire ethnic group is a terrorist or there's thieves or they come in to steal land. We'll say certain type of people. And I think it's part of civilization. If people are not civilized, okay, they will not be able to live in peace with their differences. Because if a nation is not civilized at all, whether how it doesn't matter how educated you are, if your people are not civilized, you will struggle to live with the differences. And this is what manifests right here in our eyes, in Africa and the world. And anywhere some of these people go, no matter how ill they speak of others, you see how they get treated from others. Learn the lessons. We know we are not perfect people, but there's a room, there's a room for improvement. I pass the mic for that, thank you.
All right, guys, hit the
Yeah, I
like
just
button again.
wanted to.
Please hit that like button again. Once again, please hit that like button. Passport King, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Clearly.
Thank you. Wow, my. This gotta be a deception. This can't be happening. This gotta be some evil plot by the white man. You mean to tell me that Pan-Africanism in Africa is not working the way that, forgive me for interjecting, foundational Black Americans, that we've been told we divisive. We've been told y'all all hold hands in the motherland. Y'all dance around to the beats of the Congo drums. You eat your jollof rice and everything is good. What am I hearing here? And Ghana's president, the most honorable man on earth, who was fighting for us poor, lowly, formerly known Negroes in America for our reparations, because we can't do it ourselves, and we was gaslighted, telling us we need to fall back because Ghana knows better. Well, then, doesn't Ghana's president know better about Nigeria? Isn't he all-knowing and omniscient? What's going on here? This can't be right. Oh, my God. Well, the Gods Must Be Crazy Part 3. You see, I thought there was only 2 parts to that movie. This got to be the Gods Must Be Crazy Part 3. What is going on here? And I'm hearing other people mention Black in reference to Africans. Since when are y'all Black? Y'all about your tribes. So when you need to try to save face or put blame, now you're Black when convenient. Oh my God.
Black is a terminology
My blood
given
pressure, I don't know,
by the
my blood
Western
pressure's
man.
high, or if
There's a
I'm just
terminology.
like laughing to the point where I'm about to pass out because this is
Did you read
hysterical.
what we're talking about here? It looked like you're off topic.
Yeah, man, you're
Hey,
just
guys,
off
guys,
topic,
guys,
bro.
no,
I'm
no,
off topic.
don't interrupt him. Don't interrupt him. Go ahead, Passport
Wait a
King.
minute.
Bro.
Wait a minute. I'm off topic. So
Yeah.
am I misunderstanding that Ghanaians and Nigerians are proverbially at each other's throat because
No,
of what
that's not
the
that's not
Not
that's
that
not
way,
true.
man. You got it wrong, bro.
That's
You
not
got it
true.
wrong.
Okay. So you got
Because
You
that's why
got it
you have to
wrong.
read before
I
you
guess
come out to
because
people.
so it's because I'm a
Blood, you know
foundational Black
something? Black is a
American and I don't
terminology
have your
that has
high
been
African
adopted.
Wakanda IQ. I can't understand this situation.
Because
So
you
you know
can't
what?
read. You can't
I
read.
can't.
Bro, read in
We
between the
can't.
lines.
We
Read in
can't
between the
read.
lines, dude.
Oh, okay. So tell me, what mystical fruit from Africa do I need to eat so I can get a super high IQ like y'all?
No, you don't have to eat anything. But the
Look,
reality is,
Really?
before you come, you have to know what we're talking about. But
hold on.
you come in now, and this
In
is the
every
only language that
family.
you understand,
So
right? This is the
you
only
trying to
language
tell
that
me
you
Black
speak.
Americans are
Guys,
kumbaya?
don't hold on. Don't interrupt him. Don't interrupt him. Go ahead, Passport King.
Don't you have conflict between, like,
Oh man, dude. Go ahead, Passport King.
Explain to me.
Well, Passport King, I couldn't hear you because everybody's interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, sir. I was saying once again. Well, since I'm having trouble not understanding, because I know these Africans think they got such high IQs, why don't y'all break it down simply? Explain to me, what am I misunderstanding between this dispute between Ghana and Nigeria, where normally they hold hands and sing Kumbaya and dance to the Congo beat together? Explain it to me.
What don't you get?
That's what I'm saying. You have to read before you come over here
What?
because you don't even know what we're talking about. There's no fight between Ghanaians and Nigerians. Did you read what we're talking about? So you have to know the topic because but your whole perception is just to come after Africans, right? This is why your whole perception was. But you don't even understand what we're talking about. There's no fight between Nigerians and
Well, you
Ghanaians,
just come up with a
but
lot of
we're
garbage.
trying to analyze the situation. But you did not read, you just came. And FBA, nobody is talking about FBA here. So what is your
No,
problem?
I already mentioned FBA.
We're just
Can
talking
you
about the
can you
issues with
pass the mic
Nigeria
down?
that
I
needs to be
focused on
fixed. That's it.
Africa and Ghana. Where's the okay? So let me rephrase. Since y'all okay, so I
Because
get the
this is the
problem
only
is
language
y'all
you can
have such
speak. I
high
don't have to. I
IQs you
don't
can't
have to
understand.
explain this to you,
Hold on. I get it
right?
now. Y'all have such high IQs you can't understand simple questions.
Why are you saying people
Explain to
got
me
such high
what's going
IQs? Who
on
said
now
that?
in this. Hold on. Explain.
Why you keep on
Let's
like bringing
put it
words in,
simple
like
because y'all
cutting
got
in with
such high
words?
That's
IQs.
a self
What's going
defeat. That's
on
a self
between?
defeat.
Hold on. What's going on
Yeah,
between
But you're being
let him finish
deceptive,
Nigeria?
man.
now.
You're being deceptive.
Guys, let him just land.
This,
Let him just
this
finish his
guy is
situation.
limited
That's
on the dynamics between African nations and African people, so you can't really add to the conversation. He only wants to know
oh
what the divide and the fight is. Sit
Yeah,
back,
he only
bro.
wants
Bro,
to put
You're not in
bro,
Africans
front
bro,
of
it's
me
not.
down.
It's
on
not
this
even a
We
topic.
fight. It's not
understand,
a fight.
Passport
saying that
King. It's fine. We got you. We got you, Passport
non-Africans
King.
stay out of
Just finish,
Africa
bro.
business.
We got you. Got
Excuse
you.
me. Hold on.
Sit back,
Stop.
man. Hold tight. Hold tight,
Stop.
bro.
Did Elvis
Hold
just
tight.
say
Hold
that
tight.
non-Africans need to stay out of African business? Did you just say that, Elvis, or did my
No, I said
low
your
IQ
own.
misunderstand that?
No, I said your own informed. What do you know about the history
No.
between Ghana and Nigeria?
Oh, so wait a minute. So now I need to know the entire history
You're just
of Ghana
uninformed,
and
bro. You don't know
Nigeria.
anything about it. That's the point that I'm making.
Oh, oh,
Prove me
oh. So
wrong.
you. Oh,
Bro,
Articulate it.
why you
okay.
being sarcastic? What's all
So
this
now we
sarcastic
keep moving the
behavior?
goalposts. But you Africans
You
will
had your
butt
chance to
into
speak. You didn't
heads of
articulate
the.
anything.
Oh
All you said was, "Oh, I
no.
guess everything is
So
not
wait.
so great." What type of
So
analysis is that?
Elvis,
anyone who's
let
not an
him speak. Let
African
him
needs
speak,
to know the
please. Let him
entire
finish.
history of any African country from beginning to end, or they shouldn't speak. Right?
That's not what
That
I
was just
said, man.
it sounds like that's what you're saying. So
Yo,
that's not
speak
what
Bro,
you're
your
saying. What
piece,
are you
man.
saying,
Speak your
Elvis?
piece.
No. What are you saying, Elvis?
what
Operate
I'm
your
saying
hip.
is,
Just press your
I
hip.
listened to you, right? Hold on,
Let
he's
them
asking me a
listen.
question. He's
Speak
asking me
your
a question.
piece.
Hold on for a
Oh yeah.
second.
What's the question?
When
What's
I
your
listened to
question?
your submission, what you said was that it's not
Yeah.
surprising. You're being sarcastic. It's not surprising that there are conflict
No, it's not
between
sarcastic.
African people or African nation,
It sounds like you
and why
gaslighting
aren't
me.
they so close together and all of this?
Uh-huh.
What we're discussing here is what the president of Ghana said in regards to Nigeria has to figure things out because he doesn't want Nigerians becoming refugees flocking into Ghana. That's what the conversation is about. So, as an
Well, that
intelligent
sounds like
person, you should kind of look at
hold
the
on. So is that
foundation of
somehow
the relationship
Pan-Africanism?
between those two
Is that
countries.
holding hands and kumbaya? We all work together in the African continent.
Oh
Is that
boy,
what y'all
Bro,
mean?
who said African countries are
wow,
kumbaya,
that
bro?
is you got to pass the
You're
mic, man. I
helping.
can't
What's
argue
wrong
with
with
this
you,
guy.
You're not
bro? Who said
helping.
we're
Also,
You're not helping.
kumbaya?
Let him land. Let him land. Please, guys, let
say
him
Bro,
land.
ain't no
kumbaya
one
Please.
said that we're
and
kumbaya or
that's
anything
what
like
you
that. Do you understand? Yeah. What we're trying to
Just let
get
him
at.
land, please. I'm begging you guys. Let the guy land, please,
But
because
Africa, what
We
this
got
guy
He's already
saying right
landed.
now?
That has got to pass the mic so I can get my time to speak on it. I don't know if
So
that was in the back.
now, because I asked simple, straightforward questions that are answering, y'all want to gaslight, you want to claim and don't know the entire
Come into a
history of Africa.
conversation with knowledge so
Lord,
you can
you
add to the
Africans
conversation.
don't even know
Not
the
coming here and
entire
asking questions. If you don't know about the topic, stay off the panel. If you're not smart
Oh,
enough on the topic,
so
stay off the panel.
Can I
Hey,
please
hey, hey,
answer
I
his
got, I got, I got to
question?
pass the mic. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right. Thank you, Dinah. Look, I just want to say this, right? And hello to the panel in the chat. The point I was making is about, you know, the differences in these two countries and what makes Ghana different than Nigeria, for example, right? Like CD was saying, some people think it's xenophobia, some people think it's protectionism, and others would describe it as nationalism, right? Ghana has something going good for them. And when they look across their border to Nigeria, they see a nation that is so great in potential, but then so divided in, whether it's tribal bigotry, whether it's corruption. There's so many things that's limiting Nigeria from reaching its potential. In Ghana, they ain't like, you know,
a third of the size in terms of population that Nigeria is, they are pretty stable. They have a a reasonable economy. The inflation is reasonably low. They have some reasonable national cohesion amongst the different ethnic groups. So Ghana really, in other countries, kind of look at Nigeria and are somewhat disappointed that Nigeria should be way further ahead. And there are things that's happening in Nigeria right now with political tensions, with elections coming up. The terrorism that's coming down further south. A lot of things, people being displaced. A lot of things are happening in Nigeria that could affect its neighbor. So the Ghanaian president, in his foresight and wisdom, is saying, well, we see these things happening, and he's putting it out there because this is a concern. It might be eternal more so, but he's expressing it externally that this is something that they're worried about. That if something happened in Nigeria, the displacement of Nigerians could, really maybe destabilize the neighboring countries like Ghana, Togo, Benin, all those countries that's right around Nigeria. So he's telling you that Nigeria has to get it together, and I'm saying the same thing. Nigeria potential is so great, but my biggest thing, looking from the outside, is that they're divided. You have people in the Nigerian government who are fighting against the Nigerian government covertly, and it's just like, why? If you guys can be together, if you think you're so different, whether it's based on religion or ethnicity, why can't you separate? But the same people who are fighting Nigerians from the inside will refuse for them to separate so that each, maybe the South can have their own little country, the North can have their big country, and they can be different and they can live their lives and run their affairs the way they see fit based on ethnicity and religion. But they're fighting against each other, and then they're fighting to hold the thing together that's not working. So for me, I think it's going to be very difficult for Nigeria to become cohesive again, because there are elements within the country who are very powerful, who are very wealthy, who don't want the stability of that country, to come to fruition. Bro, be quiet for a second. I'm not fighting. We're not here telling you that these countries are fighting each other. We're looking at the social dynamics of these two nations. Just be quiet for a second, bro.
Over me. I'm just
oh boy.
That's tribalism.
Be quiet, man. It's not a fight between FBAs and Nigerians. I got my 30 seconds or 1 minute. Let me just wrap up. I'll pass the mic. Let me just wrap up, man.
But now you want to call it tribalism. See, this is what we mean about Wakanda fantasies. When
oh my gosh.
Y'all try to gaslight, move the goalposts, and tap.
Bro, you would never hear me talking negative. I don't know if you know who I am. I don't know if you really heard me. I don't talk negative about African Americans. You would never hear me saying that. Even sometimes when people are being too negative, I defend African Americans. And you are Caribbean. You have a clear accent. You're not an African American. Stop trying to claim something you're not. Let me finish my point, and then you can tell me later.
We're supposed to receive something.
Right. Hold on. CD, you gotta mute your mic, CD. Look, bro, it's not a conversation between me and you. Nigeria is not worried about FBAs, neither is Ghana, right? So relax. When it's an FBA conversation, Donis will make the topic about it. This is not your wheelhouse. It's not your wheelhouse, bro. And I'm 95% sure you're not an FBA. You got some kind of Caribbean in there. But let me just finish my point. My last point here is that. Yeah. My last point here is that. Oh my gosh, bro! What you just said just now is an accent. You heard about the Caribbean man? We hear that Caribbean man. We hear that accent, bro. We hear it. So let me just finish my point.
Let him land. Thank you.
Yeah, my last.
In all fairness, you guys interrupted him also, but let him land.
If you want to interrupt me, fine. Let him do it. I mean, my point here is that.
I'm not even interrupted. I was making a point. I'm pointing out what you stated is tribalism, and instead of just simply being an honest man with integrity and saying yes, that's tribalism, you want to deny it because I was.
There ain't no tribalism. It's two nations. It's two nations.
No, we're talking about the dynamics between Ghana and Nigeria.
Okay,
I made a comment on what my brother CD said about Ghana being,
Let Pastor King interject, please, because you interrupted.
Okay, let me interject. Go ahead. Take some of my time. Interject. What you want to say?
My point, Africa. Thank you. When he was talking about Nigeria, he described the division. I said, well, isn't that tribalism? And instead of simply saying yes or no, he tried to tap dance around it. This is why various
Right.
African nations, not just Africa and Ghana. This is why y'all can't get y'all stuff together. Y'all are delusional.
Right.
Y'all got these fantasies of Wakanda that don't exist. I'll put it to you. Since we want to talk about Ghana and Nigeria, do you know there was some raging fires in Ghana just a few days ago? They don't know how it started. They suspected arson. But let me get to the point. When the fire department showed up, you know what happened? They ran out of water.
Mm.
This is the reality of what goes on in Africa. But then y'all want to get online.
Let me ask you a question then, because remember you took my time, right? So let me make my point. You took my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
Go ahead.
I want you. This is a rhetorical question. I don't even want you to answer it. But again, I don't speak on this, but I'm just going to say this because when people say these things, they don't think about it. African Americans in this country don't run any city. They don't know how to create water that goes into a fire hose that they control and that they maintain in this country.
We don't know history.
Just be quiet, bro. You had your chance. Just hold on for a second.
Yeah.
Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
Don't understand.
I mean, you see, that's what I'm saying. This guy wants to be disruptive. I can be disruptive. Let me finish my point. You had your chance. You said what you said. I was quiet.
Land.
When it comes to running city in this country, right? We're seeing what happened in places like Flint, what happened in places like Gary, Indiana, what happened in Detroit. Even other African Americans would tell you, without the white man, the black man can't survive. Every major city that African Americans are predominant in, if you go to the judges, if you go to any place that runs the actual city, the firehouse, the police station, they're usually ran by whites. The infrastructure of the cities that you live in is ran by white. If you go to the water plant in any of these cities, it's not black people that are running it, it's white people. So when you try to compare Ghana not having water, show me where African Americans are running a water plant or water treatment facility, and it's all ran by them, and they're running the entirety of the city, and there's no input from white people at the top of it. You can't show me that.
Even the entertainment that they boast about, even the entertainment, who run the entertainment in this country?
You talk about black movies, the cameras that black people make movies with, black people don't make it.
They don't make anything.
Everything that black people use to do anything great in this country, the white man created it.
Even the basketball team, they all own white men.
They own the industries. They own the. I wouldn't say they created it, but they control a lot of the industry.
It's not an argument that you should be making. It's not a point that I'm making. Don't make that stupid argument.
Let's not distract.
There was dozens of black cities throughout America in the early 1900s.
You're talking about the early 1900s. Let's talk about now.
V, you can speak. I think if Dennis is there, if he's not there, I think
let V speak. Go ahead, V. Let V speak.
Can we really try and stick to the topic? I don't understand this gentleman that he called himself FBA or passport. Whatever.
I was sticking to the topic, V. Calling y'all on your bovine estimate. Y'all always gaslighting. No.
Passport, bro, in every family, there is internal conflict. There's some type of internal conflict.
Listen,
even in America, there's internal conflict with blacks.
Ongoing.
Please, Mr. FBA.
What's a lie about that? Hold on, wait. Let me make a straight.
Passport, okay, let the lady speak now, bro.
SBA, Black Americans, ADOS.
It's proof.
There's always internal conflicts. It's just the same as in Africa.
Is that a lie? Hold on. That's either a lie or is the truth. Which one is it?
No, come on. Let me.
No. You're not gonna gaslight. No tap dancing. Is there? Okay, here it is.
Nobody's gaslighting anybody. You came
IQ Africans. Is there Pan-Africanism unity in the African continent? That's either a yes or no.
Well,
okay. Let us answer the question and let us speak, please, Passport. Thank you.
Let me answer you. Okay. Currently, yeah. Listen, currently, there's I could cite many different countries. Let's not just stick to Africa. Currently, we have the Ukraine and Russian war. Yeah, they're the similar people. They are Rus.
No. We said Africa. Don't go to Europe. Keep Europe out.
I will go to Europe.
You don't control what the lady say. You fool. Don't be telling her what to say. Let her speak, man. What's wrong with you? Let her speak. If she wants to talk about something, don't tell her no. Who the hell are you to tell her what to speak on, not to speak on? Shut up, man. You Caribbean playing theater.
She's giving an example, and you're not even let her
You
to
don't want
speak.
to, you don't want to talk about Africa. You don't want to talk about Europe.
That don't scare nobody. And if you
Yo, shut up, dude. Shut up. Shut up. You're an idiot, man. I muted so the lady can talk. Shut your ass up and let her speak, man.
You cut the tough guy talk because I trust you. I don't
Bro, you got no bass in your voice. You're effeminate, man. You whisper when you speak because you don't want your real accent to come out. That's what you do.
All right, y'all. Hold on. Let Passport King, let V speak. Don't interrupt her. Go ahead, V.
All right, I gave her a question and she refused to answer. Just know that.
You anyway interrupting me. Let me answer you. I'm gonna answer you the way I want to answer you. Okay, I'm not gonna answer you because you know the way you perhaps want it to be answered. I'm going to answer your question. You said, okay, you say you don't want to talk about Europe, but I cited to you that Ukraine and Russia are the same people, but look at them, they are teachers this throat.
That's not Africa, though. That didn't answer the question.
Just apply that to Africa. Apply the same thing.
That's the whole point. So in other words, you won't just answer the question yes or no. So now you want to go to convoluted mental gymnastics.
You are speaking as if it's only Africans that's at each other's throat. I could also cite India and China, neighbors, right? Same people, they have similar ethnic groups that cross each other's boundary, but they don't agree. I could cite Thailand and China, similar ethnic groups that cross each other's boundary.
India and Pakistan, the same too.
Yeah, India and Pakistan, they're the same people, except one side is predominantly Muslim, the other side is predominantly Hindu, and they speak Urdu, and then one of the other languages that speak across both borders. They have similar kind of culture. They don't understand. This is not just African thing, and it's not this kind of world dynamism. It doesn't just apply to Africa. Of course, Nigeria and
you tap dancing. So if you was to take a test, okay, let me put the terms you understand.
This guy is not informed. Everything that you're telling you right now, he got no knowledge of it. No knowledge.
Why are you trying to?
You're gonna start answering. Hold on. You're gonna start answering questions in France. Is that how you take exams?
He's trying to get some trying to get some justification for FBAs. Like, where you trying to where you get where you going?
No.
You pause this guy.
Get some justification. Like, you're trying to.
Every pause this guy. I'm calling yourself FBA. Is your Black America? Is your Black America called yourself FBA? This guy is crazy. It's the whole Black America that called themselves FBA.
Now y'all trying to do on FBA.
You know, can you go and call LeBron James FBA? It would drive you with a dog out.
Okay, tell me one thing that Black people own in America. Tell me one thing that Black people own in America. Tell me.
Wait. What was your gotcha question? I need to hear.
I'm asking you. Tell me one thing that Black America own in America fully, that they are fully entitled to anything here, whether it's a music industry, whether it's a movie.
You want to
tell
know?
me, because you don't know. Why are you asking me the same question? You know that you can't understand English, right? When I ask you a question, you give me a question back.
You want to listen to the answer.
So I'm asking you.
Over 50,000 patents registered the U.S. Patent Office for inventions and innovations.
What you guys run in America? What you guys run in America? Tell me.
Passport, bro, ain't no one against FBAs. Yeah, we're not against FBAs. Do you understand?
Answer your question. You're saying that people can't own panties. Is that what you're telling me? With all your superior high IQ African wisdom,
you just came in with some sort of
you said one thing. I gave you 50,000 plus. So that's your answer.
This conversation around FBAs.
This ain't a conversation about FBA, man. Come on, man. Get back on the topic.
Pan-Africanism.
Yeah, give Ola the mic, please. Ola, go on, Ola.
Where is the Pan-Africanism in Africa?
You will never get anybody to speak. He will never.
Pan-Africanism here.
It's my turn.
We're all from different regions. There's Pan-African. This is an example of Pan-Africanism.
He want to bring. See, with the problem we have in Nigeria, it's not like the divide. It's not about the divide. It's not about the divide. Let me just say the truth. It's not about the divide. It's not about the divide. It's not about the divided. It's about is this about corruption, fighting corrupt people themselves? Who is more powerful to that corruption? Among the South, and there are some people in the South that with the North now want to grab power, right? There are also some few North who joined this man, Tinubu, to stay in power. So it will be very difficult for Nigeria to divide because of they're too heavily integrated. You understand me? If you look at Nigeria, you think you say, oh, is it? Look, even the Fulani people are talking about is the indigenous people that are sometimes dressed like Fulani, use it to cause havoc and blame it on the Fulani people. You get what I'm saying? In my own village, there are Fulani who live there, there are Northerners who live there, there are Nigerians who live there. They have their different businesses. My mother thought I work with some, and Claire do some other things with some. You know, so what you think? Sometimes, look, you can hire anybody to cause havoc in your community. That you want to blame it on somebody. Even on that Benue, it's all about the minerals there. Some locals are fighting each other to dominate those areas. They raise for certain people to come and cause havoc. They say, oh, I don't know, it's the Fulani. You know what I'm saying? It's not today we're living with the Fulani for very, very long. We live with them for a very long time. But the problem we have is, I don't blame this Ghana man. I don't blame this Ghana man what he said. I can understand his concern.
See, this guy will not give you a break to talk.
I can understand his concern about. I can understand his concern about Nigeria problem because of our population. Even myself live in Nigeria before for a very long time. You know what I mean? But let's just be honest. There's no single Ghana investment in Nigeria. Ghana have no investment in Nigeria. You cannot pinpoint which Ghana business is being invested in Nigeria. But Nigeria continue investing in Ghana. So that's what I said. See, these certain leaders, so-called, right from the time of Obasanjo, I bet you, if these northern leaders came to power, I swear to God, Ghana will not see no single investment in Ghana from Nigeria. Because these northern leaders are very nationalistic. They don't have any property in Ghana. In some of this property you see in Ghana or whatever investment they do there is from the Igbo people. You understand me? So I don't, I'm not demonizing them. The northern people have nothing in doing in Ghana. They trade their business, they live there. Even you can see this onions problem. They just carry their truck there, Ghana possess their truck. They just retaliate. Then I say, oh, they carry arms, but you forget that you seize their truck first. Look, I'm from the south. I'm pro-Northerner. And I pray one day these Northerners will come to power and let nationalists reign again. This so-called whatever you see now will end one day. That's just so, bro.
Passport King, are you some type of agent or something?
Forget about passport.
Are you an agent? Have you been brought to cause divide and conquer?
I'm not afraid to answer the question.
What are you been brought into that?
Come on, don't make this guy relevant, bro. Forget about
it. Why are you doing that?
We know about Tariq Nasheed, you know. We know about Tariq Nasheed, man. We know about his background.
I'm not afraid to answer a question. Go ahead.
Bro, we know about Tariq Nasheed's background, yeah? He's the founder of FPA.
Hold on.
So what are you trying to do? You come out here to pull divide, yeah?
Let me address. Bro, let me address him quick.
Bro, come on, man. Stop it, man. You come out here being all sarcastic and everything else, man. What's up with you, man?
Responsible between what's going on between
louder, man.
Is he responsible?
Bro, hey, you're just here to cause divide, man. I know your strategy.
God give. Don't even mention Tariq Nasheed here. You're making these guys relevant.
He's an agent, man.
Louder, man.
Wait, so Tariq Nasheed's responsible. Tariq Nasheed went to the African continent. He caused Ghana and Nigeria government to have.
Bro, we know the strategy. Tariq works for the CIA. What's wrong with you, man?
No, man. This guy has. Why you would say someone like that work for CIA? You're making him so important.
So wait a minute.
He's not working for no CIA.
Somehow responsible.
Passport King, can I say one thing?
Yo, Tariq started the FBA, man. We know he's got a white mom and everything else, man. What are you chatting about, man?
Okay, listen, bro.
Man. He's out there to cause divide, man. That's Tariq's game. That's your game as well.
Fears when y'all have so much conflict and trouble and corruption in Africa.
Can I ask you something, brother?
Like America don't have conflict and tribalism and everything else. America's got the same thing. America's got all these dynamics and different, you know.
hold on. Let this
Let me
guy
just say
speak.
one thing.
What do you?
Nowhere in the
Hold
United
on. Oh,
States where the fire department shows up and
bro.
they
What
run
do you
out
want
of
to talk
water and
about,
there's a fire.
bro?
That's
Okay, it's okay.
never
What do you want to talk
happened.
about? Do you have any investment? What is your worth of investment you want to invest in Africa that's making you to be crying? What is your investment? Hold on. What do you want? What is your what? And what is your leader what? Tariq Rashid. Let's talk about business now. What do you want to do in
Wait a
Africa
minute.
that make you
How's
start crying right
Tariq
now?
Nasheed
What do you want to
Wait a
talk?
minute.
You see, when
Why
you
are y'all
talk,
so
hold on,
afraid
when we
and
start
obsessed
talking
with Tariq
here,
Nasheed?
no, we're not talking about,
Did Tariq Nasheed
what is your investment?
president of
What is
Ghana
your
say
investment?
something
What's
about
your investment?
Nigeria? You
No,
crashing
what
out
is your
a man
investment?
against
Even when Ghana and Nigeria
Hola.
have
Hold
a
on.
so-called
Tariq is
Hola.
not the
argument.
leader.
Hold on. When Ghana and Nigeria have argument, right? When Ghana and Nigeria have argument, we talk about business now. What
All
is your
right.
business?
What's
How
going
many
on
money?
now? It's
How
time for
many money do you want to invest? How many
African
money do you want to invest?
See, this is
How
what
many
you
money
know.
do you want to invest?
No, it's not. See, y'all don't.
No, how many money do you want to invest? Talk about stop crying. Stop. Go and drink with the bottle.
You know,
Go and eat with the bottle.
okay,
Stop
okay,
crying. What is your what? What
okay,
is your
guys.
what?
This
What
ain't
is your
about
what? You don't
Okay,
come out to argue for
You know what
nothing.
it is?
What is your what?
The delineation movement scares
It's
them.
my it's
That has
my
nothing
it's
to
my
do with
it's
us.
my turn to
it's-
speak, guys. Can I
That's
just
what have nothing to do with us. That's what have nothing to. That's what have nothing to do with us. You can delineate as you can separate as you want. Ghana and Nigeria, they are not. Hold on.
Y'all have
Hold
nothing
on.
in the
Ghana
US
and
that we
Nigeria,
proud
they are
of.
not the same. But at least we talk about business. You can. That's your own problem if you want to do. We'll not ask you. Look. Nobody asks you to come close or let's come together. You see, we all that sit here, we're all from different zone and different ethnic people. But at least we're still able to settle our problem with mouth.
Hold on, you just
You
say you're from
understand me?
different tribes, right?
okay.
So don't
Yeah,
talk
I
about.
agree. Hola.
Okay,
Yeah.
you as FBA, right?
Hola, I
You as
agree.
So y'all
FBA, right?
in Nigeria, everyone's the same tribe? Is
No, you
everybody
as
the same tribe
FBA.
in
Hold
Nigeria?
on.
No, we're not from
Hold
the
on.
same
You as
tribe, but we
you
can work things out. But
we
Hola,
can work our things
let
out
me
and
just
we
start.
talk about big investment.
Okay.
You talk about your own
All right.
investment right
Thank you.
now.
Yo,
I
Pop
say
Cooking, your
Ghana
bad
has
seed,
cocoa,
man.
Ghana has gold.
Your bad seed.
What do you have? What do you
Yeah.
have?
Pop Cooking,
What
your
do you
bad
have for your
seed.
generator?
We're in the
What,
most us FBAs. We're in the most #1 economy in the world, the most prosperous nation.
where?
Do the best
Audio?
FBA.
I don't. I think.
What the hell? If y'all
I
have
think you
all
bring
these
it people.
resources, hold on. If you
Okay,
Africans
that's
have
good.
all these resources in Africa, but you
Mhm.
can't mine them and produce them, but y'all do everything possible to flee your country for
Yo,
either
bro, do you know
US,
about history?
Europe, or Asia,
Yo,
and
Passport King.
sometimes even South America. What
Passport
the hell
King,
is
do you know
going on?
about history? Do you
No,
know
don't
what's
give me
happened to
that.
us?
You don't play that. Don't give me this. You don't
I
know
think
the
it's
Do you
my
know
turn to
what's
speak.
happened
But
to
I
us?
know the history. And the history is
Yo, Passport King.
failed
Passport King.
continent. Y'all cannot
Passport
do
King.
anything
Listen
in
here,
that
listen here.
country
Do
without
you
either
know
the
what's
white
happened to
man
the black
or the
race?
Bro,
Chinese
you're
or
you're you're
Have
you're
you
you're
been
really
have you
you're
been sleeping
really.
underneath
I
a
mean,
rock?
you're messing
that's
up the
the
whole thing here.
reality.
Just leave this guy alone.
Now
Let's
you didn't mess
focus
up
on
the
what we're
whole
talking
thing.
about.
Bro,
You're
you're
This
saying
guy
we
have
don't know
no
what
sense.
it's
What are
like.
you
You're
talking
saying we got
about?
all these resources. You're
That's what I
saying
you should be
said.
we
good
don't
men
know.
enough.
Just
You
leave
know
it
the
alone. Just
way
stay
it
all I
away.
done.
did was
I
come
think
You
on here
know,
if
and
this
he's not
guy,
gonna
if
let
this
you
guy
talk.
come
here's
up,
the
no, if this
Pan-Africanism
guy
how
come
y'all
up, you see
crashing
that this
out.
guy have a meta. This guy have a meta problem. If he come up, you
Yes.
see in his eyes,
Bro,
he have a
you're
meta
just a
problem.
diversion,
That
man.
What's the meta
he needs
problem?
to volume
What
5.
meta
You
problem?
need
Tell me
to
about
be
meta
sleeping
problem.
regularly. If look, some of these people that had other IBA, sometimes if you see the way they look like if they come up, you see it in their eyes that these are people with meta
So
problems
now we're down
and
to
that
ad
need
hominem.
volume 5
Now we're
to be
down to ad
sleeping every
hominem.
1
That's how
hour
you think.
because
Wait a minute.
really,
Don't you
you know,
Africans claiming you
where do you work?
like us in
Yo,
the
Where
do
do
you
you
know
work?
what's happened
but
to
now
us,
you say
Passport
that we
King?
somehow look
Passport
foreign
Where
King.
do
or
you work?
alien. Which one is it? And
Do you
before
know
Where
you
we've
do you
been through
work?
a
I
Holocaust?
think you guys are falling into his trap.
Yo,
You're falling in his
Africans have
trap.
gone through a Holocaust, you know.
You're
We've
falling in
gone
his
through a
trap. You're
Holocaust,
falling
man. We're
right
trying to
into his
come out
trap.
of the
all of a
Holocaust.
sudden you want to be
I think
black.
this is
What's
what
wrong
I
with
didn't
you?
want us to
Are
do,
you
What?
right?
crazy?
Because this guy went as far as
Yeah.
mentioning about Terry
Bro, what's wrong with
Rashid.
this dude?
I
If the
didn't
Let me see
You're
that
falling
you're talking
exactly,
about.
CD. They're falling in this trap. They are absolutely
Hold on.
falling in
Let
this.
me talk, man. Let me
And I'm
talk.
still
Hold on,
trying
hold
to
on.
understand how is
No,
Tariq
okay, wait, right.
responsible for
It's
how
my
this
turn to speak.
president
All right,
Go,
one
go, go
second.
and
about
learn some
Okay,
history, man. Go and learn some history,
how is
Okay,
Pastor
Tariq
Bro.
Papoki, let me give
responsible
Hold on, hold on.
Papoki, I'll
Gone
give
through
you one thing.
slavery,
Babole come back on the
colonialism,
Papoki,
line
Papoki.
here,
and
man. Hold on.
Yeah,
Holocaust. What's wrong
yeah,
with you?
Papoki, I'll give you one thing, right? In West Africa, I always been your ally in certain things. When you're right, I'll say you're right. When you're wrong, I'll say you're wrong. Okay? We understand me from someone from Sierra Leone. I've seen what FBA if you want to call them that way, enslaved black people can do, with their hands, with their minds. I've seen it. They managed to build and establish a settlement called Freetown, which is absolutely beautiful. One of the
But they're
most
great
unique
people.
cities.
They're great people.
Yeah, we know nobody, anyone that sit there and say African Americans or Maroons or Jamaican are not great people. They don't understand. They haven't seen the first hand of their real work. They can do it if they're in the right place to do it. Trust me, they can, because their legacy in West Africa is still living on. From Sierra Leone to Ghana to Nigeria to the most countries in the West Coast, in Africa for that matter. They established one of the first modern university in West Africa. They helped develop places like Lagos and other countries. So you cannot count them out. But however, the way he is going on about this FBA thing is very divisive. This is not what we need at this time.
Yes, and
We're
it's
trying
very
to say
dangerous.
Agent, bro. Agent,
It's
bro.
very dangerous. Yes,
No,
very
so
dangerous.
Listen.
Yeah.
Now you guys have made this guy to achieve his goal. This is
Yeah.
what they want.
So let's
If you
move on.
start
Let's
talking
move on.
You're
about
trying to
Let's move on.
divert us from the real topic, man. You're trying to divert us from the conversation.
Yeah. So let's move on. Okay.
U.S. slavery
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. I listen. I agree with you. I agree with you in some point, but sometimes I disagree with you. But anyway, go back to the topic. Yeah.
No, okay.
So
Wait,
when you talk about
divisive. Hold on, wait, Africa. It's a simple question. Wait, Africa, pause, because you're the most rational one besides Dinus. So I do have that respect for you. This simple question: why is it divisive for U.S. slavery descendants, whether we go by freemen, foundational Black Americans, aka FBA, or some go by ADOS, some go by so long? Why is it divisive for us to recognize our lineage? And I'll pause and let you answer. Please answer.
There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing divisive about it. But it's the way
But we're just talking about the way you're coming across.
And when we're talking about
you specifically
one problem, yeah. When you're talking about one problem and you add in another problem on top of it, it's not good. Because right now we're trying to talk about the problem, we're trying to find the solution so we can move on. And if we have an FBA topic, we can do the same thing. We've done that in the past. I have gone against my own people and stand up FBA brothers because I feel like I feel like listen, I'm the sort of guy. You know me. I'm the sort of guy. I will stand up and speak the truth, even if I get rocks thrown at me. I don't care. I will stay numb and I'll continue speaking the truth. Okay? So I don't care about that.
Let me ask you this question. Do you understand the concept?
Passport King, listen to this. Passport King. Passport King.
Let me talk, man. Hold on.
We know how great Black Americans are. We know what Black Americans have done. We ain't done. We got TVs.
Exactly.
We know what
he's not a Black American. He's a Caribbean cosplaying as an African American.
I'm Caribbean.
But you got and Caribbeans as well. You get me? Yeah. And all it is.
We own nothing.
Just listen to how he says Caribbean. He said Caribbean. He has an accent, bro.
Elvis, let's be honest. Caribbean countries.
Caribbeans are great, but it's just a shame. It's just a shame he's embarrassed of his own heritage and he's trying to cling to somebody else's heritage.
Well, all I'm saying is Caribbean countries have higher GDP than many African countries. Okay. Babaliko, let me just land it. You can come on 1 second.
Okay.
So Caribbean countries. Caribbean countries have a higher GDP than many African countries. Many, even those little islands that you see, it's because they manage their country really well. Okay, it's not because they rely on the white man. These countries are predominantly Black, and they manage it. So FBAs or Afro-Caribbeans.
Tell Passport Queen to be proud of his Caribbean heritage.
Okay, but Elvis, just stop. The reality is,
Alvis is not making comparison. He's just saying that the guy should identify himself with where he's from.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. Okay. He's not making any comparison. He's just saying the guy should, if he's a Caribbean, tell that he's Caribbean.
Bro, I went to school in this country, right? I know African American. I know their vernacular. I know their accent. You don't have their accent, bro. You have a Caribbean accent trying to mask it. I can tell. Bro, Africa,
Move
relax,
on,
bro.
man.
Chill
Let's
out.
leave this,
Let me have a
this,
conversation.
you know.
Stop interrupting me. Chill out.
Leave this clown
I'm talking to Pastor King. Be
move on
quiet
with
for a
the
second,
topic,
bro. You
man.
have your chance. Let me speak. I'm a man. You don't gotta supervise me.
You're winding him up. You're winding him up.
Okay, be
leave
quiet,
this
bro.
clown alone, man.
Fine.
Let's
That's
get on with
fine.
the
Let me have a
topic.
conversation with him.
We're not getting that because I was speaking.
Elvis,
You're not doing that because I was speaking.
No. Let's get on with the
No.
topic,
You've been
man.
speaking. Don't
Enough.
tell me I'm not doing that because you're speaking.
You're
Be quiet, man. You don't run shit here.
I'm supposed to be speaking and you're talking over people. Just be quiet.
Nah, you've been speaking. I've been quiet. I've been muted for some time. Let other people speak.
Oh my God. Okay, Baba Liko, it's your turn. Speak.
Bro, you have an accent. We hear your accent. Even the people in the chat hear your accent. We hear Dinah speak. We hear Carlos speak. We hear other African Americans speak. We can tell the difference. You have an accent.
Baba Liko,
Whether you're going to come in a minute or you're going to be afraid of your Caribbean heritage. Maybe you got bullied for being a theater, so now you're trying to cosplay as being an FBA. We hear it, bro.
How do you people that flee from
You're flying theater. You can't even speak with the vernacular. You can't even speak with the accent, and you're telling us you're FBA. It's a damn shame. I'm sure your parents will be ashamed that you're disowning their heritage.
You're insulting Caribbean for no reason.
Say Caribbean real quick. Say Caribbean. Why you whispering, bro? Speak like a man. Use your voice. Project.
What? If I was a Caribbean,
every time CD like bro would say he's trying to speak series, right? People try to speak series, they try to whisper. They don't want to talk too loud because they will lose control of what they're trying to say.
African American will not even come on this show and do this. You know, we know he's Caribbean. Why would you want to identify yourself from where he's from?
We know you're Caribbean, bro. That's what I'm saying. Don't insult our intelligence and think we can't tell that you have an accent. You clearly do.
No. Use your high IQ. If I was really Caribbean,
use your high IQ. Use your African Americans don't talk like that. Use your high IQ. We hear it, bro. Every word you say, I can hear it.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Just leave it, man. Why does it matter? Just leave it. Leave it, please. Move on.
Since you know so much. Go on, Elvis. You got the floor. What benefit would I get?
Oh, you want me to try to guess of all the Caribbean country which one you come from?
No, Elvis, that's not.
I just know you're Caribbean, bro.
What benefit would I get out of pretending to be FBA since you claim I'm not one? Go ahead, answer.
Bro, I was in. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, right? I was in middle school. I was in high school, elementary school in this country. We saw African kids who was ashamed of being African, so they said they were, African Americans. And, some of them, had a slight accent. If you didn't really know, you couldn't pick it up. But
Elvis,
then there was Jamaicans who maybe lived here for a long time, and maybe their accent wasn't so visible. They said,
Elvis.
Let me explain to you. They said they were African Americans until the African American. Hold on, let me finish, bro. They said they were African Americans until the African American went to the house and smelled that curried goat.
British accent.
Hold on, bro. Africa. I'm speaking to the man. Let me speak. So we know Africans who cosplay as African Americans until their friends went to their house or met their parents and realized, oh, you're African, and then they say, yeah, I'm African.
Okay.
But for you're speaking to people who grew up in this country, who've had the experience. You have an accent.
Elvis, slow down. Don't be like a hysterical woman. So are you saying that?
But you continue
say
to
Caribbean,
talk
bro.
over everybody. This people don't understand.
Look,
you know what? Stop talking.
Pastor, you need to be shut down, man. Pastor King, you need to be shut down. You're diverting us from the topic.
But that's why you guys gave the so important to this guy. You started bringing Terry Nashi.
I told them, but they listen. I told them, but they
never had regular job in his life. He made me be promoting him to say you work for CIA. This guy don't work for no CIA.
Elvis, are
He's
you
just a useless guy.
FBAs,
so I mean, why would you do all of that?
50 million. Are you saying that we all have the same accent?
All I'm asking you is to say the word Caribbean.
Stop.
I'll try and give you the CIA vote. You know what I'm saying? FBI.
He's not working for no CIA.
You ain't getting that.
You want to talk, no man.
Yeah, man. I'm here, man. I'm listening to you.
Talk, no man.
Babalika, you're from the Caribbeans, right?
Yeah, I'm from the islands, man. Yeah, I'm from the islands.
Okay, I want you to listen to this guy when he talks. You can hear that island, in his voice. He's trying to master what you hear.
But you see, a lot of those FBAs have to remember. They talk a lot of garbage, but there are people like Marcus Garvey, who's from the Caribbean. Fight for America. Fight for Black America.
Motherfucker, Marcus
Yeah.
Garvey.
Yeah,
They always think it's just them.
Hold on, man. Hold on. It's a fact.
No,
It's a
hold
fact.
on. Okay, go ahead. Say
It's a fact, man. Come on, man. Come on. It's a fact. So we're not coming here, and I don't think this Danis on this is a American and Caribbean and a thing, because we don't own. The end of the day, we don't own anything. Okay, and we fighting each other for nothing. All this tribalism and this American and this it doesn't even make any sense, man. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is leave all that shit nonsense out there, man. That's nonsense. We can't worry with that when we at the bottom of the toll pole, man. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Black Americans spend the most money in America when it comes to buying stuff. They spend the most money. Africans have the most. They got the most raw materials. You understand? And people love to come to the Caribbean and hang out and do all these stuff. But the ending of the day, we don't own anything. Okay? We fight each other for nonsense. I don't know who bring up this FBA nonsense, but it's nonsense. I don't want nobody coming in my face talking to me anything about this FBA, because it's going to be on. And none of this nonsense, because we got to worry about working together. We got to worry about working together. Black Americans, Africans, and Caribbean. We got to worry about working together. We got the money.
This is what no. You're not gonna stop my lineage. Hold on. This is what you.
No, I'm not gonna stop my language.
Passport. You gotta control yourself, man. You gotta control yourself, man. You gotta show some decorum, man.
All right, guys, I got it. Let me
fake, man. You're fake.
Hold on, guys. Let me pass the mic. Hold on, we got some new people on the panel. Let me pass the mic to Bryce and Ross.
He's not gonna give you.
Y'all want to throw rocks and hide your hands, bro. We hear your action, man. We're not throwing rocks and hiding our hands.
It takes a pen stroke, and y'all will be.
All right, go ahead, Viceroy. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Dice. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Alrighty, perfect. Yeah, I mean, first of all, this show, the topic isn't even about FBA. So I don't know where like this guy came from, but the whole FBA versus African diaspora thing is really stupid. It's
exactly.
Really low-hanging fruit. It's like arguing to see who's the world's tallest midget. Like, the Black Americans, are they great people? Of course, obviously there are great Black Americans. Are there some great Africans? Yes, but we have to take a step back and look at the overall picture of us as a people, right? Black Americans live in this country. They don't control a single industry. We in Africa, we have tons of natural resources. We don't control anything. So it's like, what are we even arguing about? What is there to
That's
argue
what
about?
I'm saying.
It's just very stupid. It's very stupid. We're not progressing, and I hate to say it, but this is why other races outperform us in damn near everything. We're sitting here arguing about the stupidest shit. I'll pass the mic.
When you look at the Europeans,
Hold on. It's TMITH. Is your turn. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
It's the man in the high castle.
Oh, go ahead.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, proud Americans. Rise and shine. It is the man in the high castle. And I give my pleasure to this panel to let you know, inform you that America is doing strong, doing great, and common sense is back again. We are the best. And foundational Black Americans, we're full-blood Americans. We're indigenous to this land. See, you guys were talking about Ghana and Nigeria. You would think that the way you're talking, that your brothers and sisters having sibling rivalry. But I guarantee that none of you on this panel right now can name the two tribes that would link your ancestries together in Ghana and Nigeria. I'll give you 30 seconds.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
another guy.
What if you're not from Ghana or
They're
Nigeria?
crew. Let me just give you this, right? I come from the crew people, right? There are crew people
See, this
who
is
live
what
in
I'm talking
Nigeria.
about. 30 seconds. Get it together, one of you.
I just said it. I just
10
gave you the
seconds.
connection.
Okay,
There could
so
people
right
that live
now,
in Nigeria.
just you who's talking about. I give you
Is that the
15
Ijaw
seconds.
people, Elvis? Ijaw.
Ijaw people also are related to my people. Yeah.
They're the oldest, as we were talking about yesterday, they're the oldest people in Nigeria. They travel down there from the Niger River. So us people in the far west of where you call the Senegambia, Liberia, Guinea Coast, we're the oldest West Africans. So all the others came
So
there later on.
you're saying Black American is indigenous to America? That's what you're saying?
Full blood Americans who are foundational were indigenous to America. Now,
When did they join Mansa man? Join Mansa brother, is it?
The man in the high castle. I have a quick question for you. If Black Americans,
y'all guys couldn't even answer that question.
Listen,
and I'll answer it for you then.
Thank you.
Because it's so sad.
If Black
Hold up.
let me ask the question, right? So if Black Americans are indigenous,
You don't even know yourselves out there,
bro. Can I ask you? Can I ask the question? If Black Americans are indigenous,
one at a time.
Let the guy ask the question. Hold on. Let the guy ask the question.
If Black Americans are indigenous to this land, right, and they were here before the Europeans came, what were their practices? What foods did they eat? What major cities or centers of trade did they have, and what language did they speak before?
And why did it needed more slaves? Why did it need more slaves from Africa? Explain that too. Yeah.
So your whole panel wants to do a 9 versus 1? Great.
No, we're just asking questions to understand, brother.
What we say? We throw it back at you.
I'm gonna teach each and all of something. All right.
Go ahead.
First of all, our language originally is bust you upside your motherfucking cranium.
Exactly.
I'm not with them tedders. Man in High Castle, we're on the same page.
You sound like an honorary tether to me, bro, and they sense it too.
So you
guys I smell the pheromones. I smell the pheromones.
You're trying to look for a friend, and he called you out, bro. He know you're a tether, man. Pastor Quinn.
I smell the pheromones. I smell the pheromones. I smell like rotten coconut milk and rice.
You gonna make me?
Can you answer the question or not?
It smells like old rice and peas and rotten coconut milk.
Let's get back to the topic, man. Back to the topic.
Can you answer or not? The man in the high castle.
Back to the topic.
Yes, sir.
Can you answer, please?
Who is this speaking?
This is Viceroy Dolo. I asked if Black Americans are indigenous to America and they were here.
Where are your people from,
bro? Can I? Why can't you just answer the question? Why? Like, what is? Are you, bro? If Black Americans are indigenous to this land and were here before Europeans, what was the major city or center of trade? What language did they speak? What traditions and practices did they practice before the Europeans came?
That's a great question. First and foremost, I love to be clear, but if you could be clear yourself, could you take the spoiled coconut milk and rotten rice and peas out your mouth first?
So you can't answer the question.
Okay. Could you take the spoiled green bananas out your mouth first?
So you can't.
Bro, you're deviating now, man. You're showing weakness.
Yo, the FBA people.
Can you take that bush meat out your mouth, sir?
Are all y'all this stupid?
Can you take that bush meat out your mouth? Man. I'm speaking American English. You hear that Yankee accent?
Yo. Hey, listen. Let's get back to the topic. Yeah. Let's get back to the topic.
So we're talking about Nigeria and Ghana.
So the man in the high castle.
The two tribes that would link y'all to.
You can't answer my question.
Who are the two tribes that would link y'all to? Y'all couldn't even answer it. There's 9 of y'all.
You can't even answer your own lineage. You're trying to claim indigenous, and bro asked you a question, you can't even answer it, bro. So who are you to question other people about their lineage?
Uncle Sam knows what time it is. He already knows.
Yo, leave that out, man. Look, let's just get back to the topic. Let's get back to the topic.
Get off your high horses, man. Get off your high horses with this nonsense, man.
Yo, you guys are buzzing, man. Stay off the perk, man.
We super necessary. We super necessary.
If I was from like some immigrant background, I was
full-blood Americans. We're older than all of Africa.
Bro, America
I would be calling out my fellow immigrants if I was one. So don't put that tether BS on me, fam. Yo, that's all I got to say.
You can't even say tether right. You couldn't tether if I was a tether. You can't even say it right, bro. You have an accent. You hear it from a mile away.
Get back to constructive.
Instead of saying throw, you said throw. You can't throw that on me. You gotta ask him, bro.
This
I
ain't
want you to count
constructive,
down
man.
from 5 backwards, real quick, sir.
What?
Count
Bro,
down from
this
5
ain't even
backwards.
constructive discussions, man. Let's
Count
get back
down
to
from
the
5
topic.
backwards.
Yo, this is ridiculous, man. Yo,
And
your time
I
is done,
guarantee
man.
you, once you get to 3, you say tree.
Tree.
You say
Yo,
tree.
I did not say tree.
All this
1, 2,
nonsense you're
3.
talking about. Y'all was here and
Now,
all this
now,
nonsense.
man in High Castle, see, that's the
It's
kind of
nonsense.
stupidity that makes FBA look.
Let's count down from 5 to
Just because
backwards,
you may not
everybody.
like the way I phrase certain things,
Yeah,
that don't mean you're
okay.
It's not that
Okay,
we don't like the way you phrase it, brother, man. It's
Man,
that you have an accent and you're denying it. It's a damn
listen,
shame.
you guys
No, hey, bro.
fell right into his
This
trap.
dude want to be a
You
fool.
fell
We're
right
going to
into
be a
his trap.
fool with him, man. We can't take a fool to
No,
be
but
seriously.
you fell right into his trap. I warned you, but you didn't
What do you
listen.
mean I fell into this trap? I'm just playing fool out of this fool. I'm not taking this fool seriously.
No, but you okay. Now this whole conversation has been derailed.
I came to give my submission about the topic. This guy keep trying to make it seem like it's a competition
Yeah, but
between
now
Nigeria and
now we're
FBA.
backward and forward.
Hold on, no, nope. You're not gonna throw a stone at higher.
You're not gonna throw. Come on, bro.
No. You know what?
The word is
Honestly,
throw.
you're right.
Throw, not
This guy
throw.
is Caribbean. He's
He's
definitely
Caribbean, bro. I'm saying it. I'll speak on it.
I got it now. Definitely he is. I don't know why he's
It's nothing
hiding,
but
but he is.
tribalism on the continent, both inside the African nations and among other African nations. But when y'all get online, and if y'all come to the USA, y'all try to
You
play.
come to the USA. Who talks like that, man?
Y'all come.
Yeah, come to the USA.
Top of the morning, Mr. Man.
Y'all hold hands.
Yo, fuck with him.
Africa, this mystical magical wonderland.
The guy want to speak Siri. You want
He want to speak to you, CD. I'm telling you. You gotta put an air behind everything like a white girl. You come to the USA. We go to other nations.
This guy's out of his mind.
Why Africa would never
Your time is done, man. Your time is done, man. You come in here with some nonsense. Yo. Your time done. You come in here and talking some nonsense, man. We ain't got time for them nonsense today, man. We got some real shit to deal with. You come in here with you is a native to the land. All of you talking this nonsense, man.
No,
nonsense.
It's not no nonsense.
Well, you see, the man could be.
There's no record of that. There's no record of that.
You project.
There's no record of that.
To take credit for Black Americans, where they go by
okay.
foundational Black Americans.
Nobody trying to take credit for no Black Americans nonsense, man. We give you all your respect. We give you all your respect. Nobody trying to take that. Y'all always trying to make up some kind of versus something, man. Man, we tired of this nonsense, man. We got real shit to worry about. We got real shit to worry about.
That's a real Caribbean talking there. He's proud of his heritage. He's not hiding who he is. Learn from him, Passport King.
About Nigeria, right? Hold
on. What are to worry about, man?
Okay, Passport King, can you speak about the topic and you can move on?
Trying to run a reparations scam.
Okay, Passport King, whether African American, you're Caribbean, just speak about the topic and pass the mic. Okay.
This guy would never let anybody speak. That's the problem. You're entertaining. You would never let anybody speak. You're
arrogant. If y'all are
arrogant, little fool.
Now, so speak.
Okay, let him speak about the topic and
what is he speaking that you will listen to? Africa. Tell me what is sense that this guy making? Tell me. He's not making no sense.
Exactly. Come on, Africa. That's enough, man. We don't want to hear nothing with this. Anybody come on here with this FBA and all this nonsense, this versus shit? I don't want to hear it, man.
Yeah.
We need to work together. All this is nonsense, man.
Yeah,
it's nonsense.
No, I agree.
We got Dr. Africa. We got Dr. Africa. We got Dr. Africa from Zimbabwe. She has Americans with her, and she goes to these different countries, and they help. We don't want to deal with these nonsense, man.
So none of you guys, none of you Africans believe y'all really related to one another. Like how many generations are y'all removed from each other? From
we West African, we are very related people, directly or indirectly. There's no doubt about that. You know, some of these tribes that are still fighting each other, they actually is very related. Don't forget that. Just because they fight each other doesn't mean they're not related. Sometimes they fight over resources. Sometimes they fighting over power. Sometimes they fighting over land. Sometimes they fighting over cultural differences. But it does not make them any difference to who they are. They speak. The majority of them speak Niger-Congo languages. Majority of them carry similar bloods. Majority of them carry similar DNA and genetics. So it's just a family fight. Okay? So
There are Hausa. There are Hausa in Nigeria and Hausa in Ghana. There are Yorubas in Nigeria and Yorubas in Ghana. Who's been living there for a long time.
Guys, let me go to XGP. Thank for down there. Holla. Let me bring V back on too. Hold on. This man is high in the castle. FBA violence. XGP, thank for the $9.99 holla.
Yes, I am.
Stop that for me. They're mentally challenged. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Off that garlic breath. Yes, I am.
Yeah, so sometimes you can hear us having a fight or arguing. It's not because we hate each other.
Whether he's hot or not.
You don't see tribal wars in Africa. You don't hardly see any tribal war in Africa. We do have a lot of disagreement. We do come out online and spew it out. But for someone that's not from the continent, will think, oh, these people are about to have a war in a minute. But it never happened. The tribal wars that happened years ago, the majority of us learn from it. We might have so much issues. Look at Nigeria. They have so much issues with each other's tribes. We never see them going there fighting each other. No, but you never see people in Nigeria killing each other because of tribes. It's all about ideology. And
Africa is the same thing that is going on in America right now. There's a MAGA fight. There's a different faction, Republican.
Ideology. Right.
This is they're going after each other. It happens in every society.
They're going after each other in manga, but guess what? There's no machetes out.
I'm not talking about you don't own shit.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about black
but what I'm saying, but y'all Americans, y'all some of y'all black Americans, y'all hypocrites, man. What about the Polish? What about the Polish? What about the Polish that comes here? What about the Germans, the white Polish, the white Russians? Y'all in war with the white Ukrainians. What about them? Why y'all don't talk about them who come here and take your jobs and get houses and get stuff? Why y'all always talk about your own black brother? Why y'all always talk about your own black brother from the thing? Y'all some hypocrites, man. Y'all some blasted hypocrites, man. Y'all some damn hypocrites.
Take that bush meat out your mouth, sir.
Calm down, man. Watch that blood pressure, brother. Don't get too excited.
No, they talk about their black brother all the time, but they don't talk about all these Ukrainians and stuff that come here and get all these help. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
You are freaking clown, and not your brother. You are clown.
I understand.
Take that
palm oil.
I understand.
Take that palm oil off your lips.
I understand. Sorry, guys. I understand the problem.
Castle, palm oil is delicious, man. I love palm oil. Try it.
I love palm oil.
Your teeth is all brown.
Your
teeth is all brown, sir.
Thank you for telling us, man.
Kiss the white man, and then you want to come here and talk about I'm not your brother. I look just like you, but I'm not your brother. You think when a police officer's gotta shoot you, he looking to see if you're a black,
don't play.
If you're a black African?
Hey, we got to protest against Diners, man. Diners he just winds us up and let us go like rabid kids and rabid doves to just bite at each other. He just be chilling in the background, drinking some wine and some shit.
He's laughing.
Yeah, that's what Diners do. He starts the show and say, "You guys go at it at each other and just stay in the back."
Throw some SBAs in there, huh?
How much you weigh, sir? How much you weigh, sir? How much you weigh right now, sir?
Between countries, there's no unity in the same country.
Did you ask your wife that when you first met her how much she weighed? Did she slap you across the face?
I'm around 210. I want to box it up with you.
What's wrong with you, man?
There's one question, Elvis.
210 right now.
Elvis, there's one thing I must ask though, right? Why this tribe came to Ghana and want to establish a kinship in Ghana? That's the question.
I mean, that's not what the show is about, right? That's a stupid thing. The guy that don't say the tribe. You can call that name. It's not like being anti-Semitic. You can say Igbos. Nothing wrong with saying it. We had a show on that before.
Africa. No, but this is part of it because why would Igbo people go to South Africa they cannot even establish some kind of rulership or kingship or relevance, when it comes to powership in their own country, but they want to go to Ghana, they want to go to South Africa, they want to go to to other countries, establish kingship there. This is no good, man, because in fact their own system doesn't even have too much of a hierarchy.
Well, we've all criticized them. We've all criticized them, right? The guy was in the wrong. We're African. We know how it works. You have to have control of the land to have sovereignty over that land. So
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
go to
but
another
yeah,
land that's not your ancestral land and have sovereignty
yeah.
over that. We know that. So that
You
that
know,
that
that's
that
gonna
part of it is not even an argument.
Yeah, that is going to cause problem for other people because there must be, other Nigerians who live in Ghana who have been living there peacefully and have no problems, and all of a sudden you have one of your own people who comes there and causing trouble for the entire other Nigerian population that live there, with good cohesion. Because I would say, look, we have Yoruba people in Sierra Leone. They never had problems, um, in Sierra Leone. You have Yoruba people in other countries. They never cause any dramas. But why? Well,
Yeah,
because
but
they never
Africa
come
as
there
an
to.
African, right? You know,
Mm,
traditionally, right? There are certain
mm,
entities that has to be governing that land that's on the metaphysical, no, that you have to have connection with. So how can you go to a different place where there are principalities that's ruling that area that's not connected to your ethnic group and think you can have kingship over it or rulership? So we understand that traditionally it's not possible because, as we know, different areas have different, metaphysical
mm,
attributes. So if your people are not
mm,
connected to that spiritual, you're not tapped in spiritually to that root, you can't rule
mm.
over it because most of the
It's like how
kingship
the
has a
other
spiritual
president came to
connotation
the
with it.
Negro burial ground and tried to
Do you think
petition
also,
for
apart from
ancestors,
okay, do you think also is because the
and
Igbos are
then
far
flooding
connected
happened in
to
Ghana
to,
after he
to, to us in
returned, and
West
now they're
Africa?
firing
I'm going
because he
back
was
spoken,
messing
please,
with
please.
another people's
Because
ancestors.
if that was an Ijo tribe, for example, if there was it was an Ijo tribe, I don't think they would have so much pushback. If it was a Fulani tribe, they probably wouldn't have that much pushback. If it was Manding people, they wouldn't have that much pushback. But because the Igbos people were far away from West Africa per se, where they come from way at the southeastern region to the Cameroon border, and they haven't had any connection to those empires in the West African region. Maybe that is a far fetched for the Ghanaian people because I think Ghanaian people actually come from the Ghana Empire, most of
But
them.
that,
From
but
the north,
that
some of
that's
them.
been settled, right? Africa, that he's not going to get his kingship
Yeah, but I'm talking about
chieftaincy.
I'm talking also about the South African issue. Because if and now it's causing a lot of problems, and people in other Africans in South Africa, not only Nigerians, are having these problems, with xenophobia. Because anywhere you find, some of these people are goes, other African people are suffering because of them, and I think
Yeah.
that's something we need to address. And
Yes. But
even though we talk about other issues, yeah,
Africa, you saying some good things there, but you don't
yeah.
forget why
Mm,
always is something like Ghana or Nigeria.
mm,
We have to say, oh, we got to get these Nigerian out if something happened in if something happened in Ghana, or if something happened in
right,
Nigeria. Oh yeah, everybody do crimes everywhere, but we don't have
right,
the same energy like you were saying in South Africa. We don't have the
yeah,
same energy for those white farmers. You go and look up. Go and look up those white farmers that kill those people on the farms, black people on the farms,
right,
mistreat those
right.
people. Where is those type of energy? How come we don't say let me get them back to Europe? Let's
Because
get
you
them back
Mm,
out of here.
worship
Why
white
why
people.
mm,
why is
Worship
always
white
our
people.
African brothers in
Y'all
different
worship white
countries?
people. That's why.
mm.
But y'all
No,
get
but
online
Pastor King, no,
and
enough,
try to get
enough,
online and try to
no,
put
enough. Just be
everything
quiet now.
like
Just be
That, man,
Pastor King, loud.
y'all
Yeah,
you're trying to
yeah,
be
worship
Babaliko, make your
disrespectful,
point.
man. We want to listen to something important. Please stop
Yeah,
talking, man.
yeah,
Don't listen to what this guy
yeah.
is
Yeah.
saying.
No, don't tell me to
So no,
stop
I
talking.
understand.
No,
Babaliko,
We want to
y'all
hear what
Babaliko,
he's
I agree
saying. It's
with
not
you.
making
y'all worship
sense.
white people, but y'all get
Babaliko,
online
I
and
agree
try to
with
get
you
the
on that because
Yeah.
oh,
because
Yeah.
y'all want
why
to
are they
make the white
targeting
man.
other? Why are they
Y'all don't want to
targeting other
immigrate to white
ethnic groups
country.
of their own?
The
Exactly.
Somalis are in South
Instead of
Africa.
Exactly.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
They always
Instead
attacking
of
the
targeting,
Nigerians. They
I,
always
mm,
attacking the Zimbabweans in South Africa. I don't understand the
yeah,
problem, the mindset. So we have to get to the mindset
mm,
and where we
Yeah,
have to.
Africa. I don't want you to just think that the Igbos out there are the only
You
issue.
guys don't even
South,
speak the
Af-
same
South
language,
Africans,
you know?
they don't like the Zimbabweans. They have issues with the Somalis. They have issue with anybody who's thriving or seems to be doing
Everybody. Yep.
well
Yep.
who are not
That's
native
true.
South
right,
African. You
Y'all don't even
know.
yeah.
speak the same
No, I
language. You
understand.
can't even
Okay, I agree with
understand
that.
each other.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for
yeah.
telling us that in Maine and High Castle. How did you start to speak the same language as your other native indigenous African Americans in this country?
We're not
But
Africans, sir.
what you don't what
Yeah.
you don't understand though, Elvis, like country like
But
Ghana,
New
in
York,
all
New
fairness,
Yorkers have a
but I
different
understand.
dialect.
But
New Yorkers
yeah,
will have a different
Dianito,
dialect to Californians. Californians will have a
yeah,
different
but they
dialect to the
speak the
Southerners.
same
yeah,
language
Everybody
still. It's
was,
a
yeah.
they
different
all
That's what
have
I'm
language.
saying.
different
How
They
did
speak
you
the
tongues.
same
learn it?
language.
How did
Exactly.
you learn it? Where did it
Yeah.
come from?
Exactly.
Sir,
Elvis, forget about this guy.
sir,
But
all
anyway,
you need to
one
know
thing
is
is
that I will beat you in a
Ghana
game
as
of
Ghana as a
Awari real
country,
quick.
yeah. Okay, Ghana as a country,
You
they
gonna do
have
what?
Ghana.
Africa,
No,
Africa.
no,
I know you want to be serious, bro. Let's have some fun, man. Let's engage.
no, no,
Let's
no, no,
engage.
no, no.
What you
We
say you
can't do
gonna
that
do?
because it's serious.
Passport
Let's have
bro?
some fun, bro. It's a Friday
Ghana
afternoon. Let's
as a
have some fun.
country,
Don't be too serious,
Ghana
man.
as a country,
So,
they take
man, in the
their
High
food.
Castle, how did you learn English? Is that your mother tongue? Did your people, develop English in this land?
That's a great question. First of all, I beat you in a game of Awari.
What?
I beat
Look,
your dad too.
What you
don't be
I beat
speaking
talking
in
your
riddles,
about,
dad
man.
man?
Ask you a
too.
simple
What's going
question.
on here?
How did your people learn English?
Can I say something? That guy just mentioned a game that's played in Ghana traditions or
You know,
worry. So
I'm the
you
best
sit there
at
and
it.
say
I
FBA.
outthink you. I can outthink you.
You got
I got
FBA. What?
linear thinking. I'm long term in the way I think.
The lady's
Yeah,
speaking.
V,
Let
let
her
me
speak,
speak.
man.
Yeah.
You are not an FBA or whatever you are. Why are you pretending to be though?
Mm.
No,
You
V,
don't
don't
intimidate
entertain
me,
him.
sweetie.
Thank you, thank you
You
V,
very
don't
smell
much.
like
entertain him.
sugar cookies, sweetie.
He's not.
Yeah, you
He's not.
smell like sugar cookies. I can smell you from a mile away.
She's not talking to you, bro. She's talking to the other guy. Shut up and don't disrespect the lady on the panel, man. Don't do that.
Mm-mm. She
You
asked me
cannot.
a question.
No, she wasn't talking to you. She's talking to the passport queen.
No, I said.
Excuse me,
No,
Elvis.
Exactly.
he's the one that
Again,
he's the
I'm
one
Hey,
that
not
hey,
your
said
sugar, you
punk
talking
ass
to me,
dressing
correct?
daddy that was selling his
yeah,
booty
you
to
said
Europeans
you're the
to
one
get a
that said about
passport out of
Hawaii.
Africa. Don't confuse me with your
Hey,
cross-dressing
hey, hey,
dad.
bro,
Thank
bro,
you,
bro,
Elvis.
bro. I found the black rooster. She wants to speak to me now. What's up?
Okay.
Man in High Castle. Yo, I'm gonna say this one time, Chief. I don't know who
I,
you are. I don't care who
I
you are.
found the
But you're
black
gonna cut
rooster.
that. No, Man in High
Little
Castle.
mama
Nope,
want to
nope.
talk to
Yo,
me. I
fam.
found the black rooster.
No,
Little
no,
mama
no.
want to
No,
talk
all
to
I'm
me
saying
now.
is,
Hold on, the Caribbean is getting mad. He gonna hear his real Caribbean accent. Let him get mad.
I found the black rooster in the village.
I don't
She
care,
wants to
man.
speak to me
High
now, sir.
Castle, what crack rock
She
you was
wants to
smoking
speak
in
to
the
me,
80s.
sir.
She was calling me a cheddar,
Okay.
claiming that's what they're
Okay.
claiming.
No, she wants to ask me a
Let the
question, sir.
let
You're not
let
getting
the
it.
sister speak, please.
I, the man in the high castle, found the black rooster in the village. Little
Are you
mama
going
right here wants to speak to me.
Who are you calling a rooster? Who are you
Go
calling a
ahead.
She
rooster?
could be your mom, you idiot. She's old enough
I
to be your
Who
found
are
mother.
the
you
She's
black
calling
not
a
little
rooster?
rooster.
mama.
Go
I
ahead, V.
found the
Spin your
black rooster
babble.
in
Let's
the
hear your
village.
Well,
babble.
he maybe just
Don't
call
do
it.
that. Don't do that,
Okay,
bro.
guys,
Don't
he
do
She
probably
that.
wants
just
to
call his
speak to
mama
me.
Rooster, so don't worry. You
No,
just call him Mama Rooster. Do you call your
I
mama
Hold
Rooster?
on. Let's
see
hear
these
V
guys, they
spin his
clowns.
babble. I
Do
like
you
the
no,
way
call
but
V
your mama
spin
you're
Rooster? I'm
wrong.
just asking you a
Right.
question, man.
Don't disrespect a mature black African woman on this panel, bro.
See how they sound?
We
They
can
sound
we can we
funny.
can joke around, but don't do that. Don't disrespect our woman.
V,
Again,
she's the only woman in the
when you
platform.
tell
Have
this
some
pipe
respect.
down, again, the man in the high castle,
Hold on.
I
Don't
found,
disrespect your woman. You disrespect
again,
the lineage of the
like
Taylor
I
people,
said,
and that's okay.
you
Is that what
goofies,
you're saying?
you goofies.
Bro, you're whispering in the
I can
background. We can't hear you,
disrespect
Mr.
the
Passport
English.
Queen.
Hey, guys, I had stepped out. What happened?
Excuse
What
me?
happened?
Yeah,
Why
he's
why you just start the
Well,
show
guys,
and leave
guys,
us and
guys,
abandon
guys,
us?
guys. This is Dinus. Well, I stepped out. What happened?
I'm answering you, Dinus. Why do you start the show and let us just fight each other and go in the back and do something else, man? That's not fair to us, Dinus.
No one's fighting, y'all. Who's
Goddess, you gotta
fighting?
get these clowns out of here, man.
Yeah, you wind
You
us up
gotta
like
get
wild
these
dogs
clowns
and
out of
let
here.
us fight each other and go in the back.
Passport King is ruining the
I
show,
don't let you
Dinus,
guys fight
honestly.
each other.
They
You
claim
guys,
it's
I don't let
fighting.
you
No,
guys
but
fight each
Passport
other.
King is ruining the show. He's not letting
Well,
people
guys,
speak.
let me
So,
read this stupid chat. The queen was attacked by her fellow FBA lover. Why didn't you protect her, Dinus? Huh? I wasn't. Who attacked
Hey,
who?
he calling people rooster and stuff, man. He
Passport
gotta
King,
go, man.
Man, High Castle attack his fellow FBA tether cosplaying.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what
So,
point.
anyways,
Okay, Hypocrisy Fighter $1 holla. How does Castle know
whatever.
about Awari?
Yeah,
You're
Dynasty.
not
For some
FBA.
reason, they have this fantasy that I'm a Caribbean pretend to be FBA.
I'm a Caribbean.
There's all
You're
kinds of weird
Caribbean, bro.
sexual. I don't know how that one works for them, but apparently they really get off on that one. But hey,
On that
I guess there's
one.
weirder sexual fantasies out there.
Bro, nobody fantasizing
Is this a
about you,
sexual
bro. Go eat some curry goat, man.
propaganda threat?
Stop,
Hey,
lying about being an
the woman
FBA.
asked me a question about why I know about a
You
worry.
fantasize about me being Caribbean. It's a weird fantasy.
You're Caribbean, bro. We're not fantasizing. We hear it through your
Hold
accent.
on.
It's evident.
I can't. Hold on. I can't be deported. I am not an immigrant.
Hold on.
My
Black
parents are
Americans don't
immigrants.
say, hold on.
Grandparents. My great grandparents are immigrants.
Your
can't be
accent says
deported
that everything you're
just
saying is a
because we
lie.
can.
That's what your
I
accent
can't.
says.
But
Your
guess
accent
what?
belies the fact that
Hold on. If
you're FBA.
me being a hold on. If fantasizing about me being a fleer from a failed nation
A
gets
fleer, is that a
I'm
word?
not going to deprive you of that. Hold on. You have my
Passport King,
permission to
just take a
fantasize
break now,
about me
bro. Take a
being a
break.
fleeing immigrant.
Take it,
Failed nation.
my brother. Take a
That's
break.
You're
Yeah? Take
Caribbean,
a
bro.
break.
We hear
Let
the
someone
accent.
else speak.
Stop
B,
denying
you
it.
were
It's
speaking
fine.
Can I
before you was
answer that
interrupted.
question?
Carry on, B.
That
You have my
199
permission
question.
to fantasize about me being an immigrant.
Fantasize. You think I'm fantasy? Everybody else here that their accent, bro. It's not fantasy, man.
No, but Elvis
If
is,
you want,
in all fairness, the guy could be FBA, but he wasn't born, he wasn't raised
you
in
know what?
America. All right?
Yeah,
He
let him
probably
say
did
it,
that
but he's
to us.
lying. We hear an accent.
Hold on,
My
let me
point is
work.
that we have the
As we want to
he
hear.
has the accent clear, and he's lying that he doesn't have an accent.
I told you you're gonna fall into his trap, and now
What
you're
trap?
gonna
I'm just
start.
calling to do all this bullshit. He
No,
has an
you're in the
accent. He's
show.
denying it.
Oh, should I start?
You just ruined the show, but just about his nationality and his background.
Look, if you hear a Sierra Leonean accent and the guy's telling he's African American, what would you say?
I will take it for whatever you say. I will believe that and just move
Oh, you
on.
believe it?
You're
Okay,
gonna
all
create
right. Then
argument.
you're lying to yourself. Then.
No, I will just take it and move on because I don't want it to be all about his topic.
Yeah, just take it and move on, man. Because he's ridiculous, man.
Well,
Stop calling my name,
what
dude.
having a high IQ is about.
Don't call my name, man.
I'm an immigrant.
Keep,
Remember? What
keep,
did I just
keep
say, Elvis?
cosplaying. Caribbean boy.
Elvis, what did I just say since I'm an immigrant?
Go drink some curry.
I love my Caribbean brothers, I love my Caribbean
I love
brothers.
him, but why? You see the other brother here who's Caribbean, prodding his Caribbean as he got his accent. You can tell he's from the Caribbeans. I'm an African. I have my African accent. Everybody here have the accent, but this dude trying to cosplay like we're stupid and we can't tell when you have an
I'll choose
accent.
some FBA over some African brothers if I have to. If I have to choose, I'll choose some FBA over some African brothers also. But let's just move on. So the reality is, as I was saying earlier, we do have, a group of people, in our region who are giving us, bad reputation everywhere they go. They actually keep doing the same thing. They do the same thing in their country. They go outside and commit similar problem. I think what we need to do as Africans, we need to start speaking the truth. We need to start calling everybody out. Just like people call my people out for certain things to do wrong. I think some people have to come out here and call themselves out and say, look, what our people are doing in other people's countries is wrong. Because you can't, the reason why Ghana and Nigeria are having this problem is because of one ethnic group, as Ola was saying earlier. Because this ethnic group want to come there, they're going to come impose themselves in another man's country. In Ghana, it's a very, I got a lot of beef with Ghana, but I don't hate the people because I think they're very, they're very protectionist people. And I think most African countries should be on some level without being xenophobic. But I think, having to have another ethnic group that do not belong to that country, forming a king or some kind of rulership at the same time with all the crimes that they're bringing in their country, is a bit concerning to the Ghanaian state. So the reality is, you got to understand also where the Ghanaian head of state is coming from because he's looking at things from different angles. And also you're looking at the political crisis in Nigeria, a country that did not able to hold itself together and say, look, we're neighbors. You guys are very immature as big brothers. We don't want, in fact, what the Ghanaian president said, I said that here before as Elvis. You remember when I said also in the Mano River Union, we need to fix our problem, okay? We need also fix our issues and forget about Nigeria. Let Nigeria solve their problem. I said the only problem is we don't want Nigeria to end up in a blown out war where we have to have a lot of their refugees coming over our region. I said that and everyone like, I start shouting. I'm like, ooh. Of course, someone in the chat, I agree.
No, but to push back on that point is bad.
Absolutely,
Nigeria is too important to our region. They are, I hate to say it, and some people would dispute it. They're the giant of Africa, especially in West Africa, right?
In
So
West Africa, yeah, they are.
they
In
are very
population wise,
important.
in
And
population.
any self-loving African want Nigeria to get it together. But then
Absolutely, I do.
when you go closer and you look at some of the issues in the country, yes, there are certain people in the country that's causing stability. Whether it's the southeast, if you want to go there, whether it's the north, whether it's certain ethnicity within those regions that's causing issues, you can point it out and say, look, if these people can calm down and settle things out, Nigeria can probably reach its full potential. So saying those things is not hate speech. So my point here is that Nigeria is fighting against itself. Ghana, to the contrary, is more united. They seem to be doing more with whatever little they got. Their population is under control. They don't have a blossoming and overpopulated country. The economy is pretty stable. The inflation, the exchange rate is pretty good. So Ghana is doing well as compared to Nigeria. And then why is Nigeria not doing well? Then you look at the ethnic issues, you look at the religious issue, you look at the north and the south. Those are issues that's plaguing the country and holding it back. So if I point that out, it's not necessarily that I'm against one part of the country because of certain things, but we know terrorism is an issue, banditry is an issue, sectionalism, political, isolationism. Those are all issues that's holding Nigeria back. So we can talk about those things intellectually.
I think the lack of development in the country is a big problem, and lack of patriotism is a problem, and also the corruption. Because the thing is with African leaders, what they do is they're so corrupt, they steal all the money and they go and build it in a white man country, and then they want you to blame the white man for the problems, and they want you to blame the colonials for the problems. And we understand that a lot of multinational corporations who still got foothold in the continent and the region. We know we have some Western countries who have used our leaders and our position for their own gain to get into politics and do their work for them. But you can't blame this other country for doing that. You blame the leaders for accepting those things at the first place.
But
they love their nation,
Sadida Elvis, you got the troops there, no? It's the American troops. The American troops went there, no?
It's a very small contingent, really more so for probably civilians.
The American troops in northern Nigeria are not there to help shite. These guys, if you ask me, they come in there to actually try to destabilize the Sahel.
I mean, now you say that after everything you just said that was good about not blaming the white people. The white people went there because the issue that's still going on today, Africa, is happening, right? And Donald Trump himself said it, which again, I have some sentiments in agreement with him, right? They are targeting a specific religion in that country, whether it's based on religion or ethnicity, but there are people who are worshiping on a Sunday. Hold on, who are worshiping on a Sunday. People go into their churches and kill them, right? They don't kill them when they're at home.
You see, Elvis, this is where I disagree also. There are people are going to mosque on Friday and they coming in and they're wiping them all out. And this is exactly
when is the last time we've seen anything? I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but when is the last time we saw where people go to the mosque and some Christian come in and kill them?
Okay, that's a good question. Or if you're saying, okay, the reality is most of the places where these things happened in a majority Muslim area where the people are Muslim. So if a crime happens, if you expect to have a crime statistically in any region, if it's a black or white area, if the crime is happening, if the criminals are majority black, and you have another white group in like a neighbor. So if you're doing a comparison between the two religions, the same, because majority of the people who killing the other side are Muslim. They're killing them. They're not killing them because they're Christians, but they happen to be Muslim who are killing them, and we happen to be Muslim who are also killing other Muslims. And this is what they.
So that's a problem. So who's the problem in that equation? Is it the Christian who's the problem, or the Muslim?
No, it's not. There's no such thing as Christian or Muslim. It's to do with exactly the statistics as it shows the people who are actually are the biggest.
Let's just oppose that, right? Go to Lagos. There are mosques in Lagos. Hold on. There are mosques in Lagos, Nigeria, right? And you would say predominantly it's more so maybe 60,
The
40,
north.
you know,
And this
Christian
most of the
Muslim. Hold
killing,
on. Let me finish
most
my
of the
point. Let me
killing
finish
is
my point.
happening in the north.
Hold on. You go to Lagos, Nigeria. I'm using it as an example. It's a metropolitan state in a city. You won't see Christians in Lagos because they're predominant. They're presumably going to mosque and killing people while they're worshiping on a Friday afternoon. Do we see that in southern Nigeria?
The Nigeria, Southern Nigeria used to have a lot of problem with
Oh boy.
kidnapping, killing. Let me just finish. You don't want to. You don't want to listen. You don't. So now, in Southern Nigeria is where kidnapping started. If ask any Nigerian, you're not Nigerian, ask any Nigerian, they will tell you. Kidnapping started in southern Nigeria. This blown out war on terrorism was in the south, in the pipeline, in the oil region. This is where most of the problem used to happen.
I
But because
asked a
they had to
poignant
put
question about worship, about a place
no,
of worship
okay.
being attacked. Why people are there worshiping? That's the question that I
Well,
asked.
but you're trying to simplify this based on one religion versus another religion.
I'm
Exactly
telling you
what?
that one religion caused more violence against another religion, and it's not even close.
No,
That's the point I'm saying. So you have to.
there's no evidence. There is no
I
evidence to
just
prove
asked
this.
you to give me evidence to the contrary of what I said.
No.
In the
There's no
north, where it's
evidence.
predominantly Muslim and little Christian, these Christian churches, even down to the
There
middle
are
belt, in
Christians. There are
Batu and Jos,
Christians in the north.
people
No,
are
you're
being
not listening.
killed while worshiping in church. When was the last time a
No,
Muslim was worshiping in the mosque for Friday prayers, and some bandit group, Christian group went in there and killed them and held them hostages
right.
and took them for
Those
ransom?
are
When?
you're not listening. You see, you're trying to simplify this exactly
Oh,
according to all the
that's
facts.
the best way to have a conversation. It's not too complicated.
No, okay. Let me just answer your question, right? Because you keep asking me the question. When I give you the answer, you don't like it. You ask me the question again. It's like you want a different answer, and that's madness. But what I'm trying to say to you is the majority of the people, according to the research that's happening, where this terrorism are, they're from the north, okay, and the region where a lot of the killing is happening is in the north. So what do you expect? And majority of the people have been killed are also Muslims. Majority of the people who have been killed in Nigeria are Muslims. The minority of the people who have been killed also by the same so-called Muslims are Muslims. So what you trying to say? Because you got that biased mindset. If you're a Christian, I understand. You'd be like, oh God, okay, this. I'm not. Listen, I am just looking at it as a
Can
rational-minded
I say
person.
something?
So
Can I
yeah,
just
you
say
understand what I'm trying to
something?
say, Elvis? Majority of the people that been killed by these Muslims are also Muslims. So
Listen,
what are you trying to say,
can I just say
Elvis?
something?
So are you trying to say the Muslim life does not matter? So you are playing again
You
into
see
the
that
hands of
sometimes
the
when
enemy.
you ask these
Let this
rhetorical
sister
questions
speak.
and I
Let
go
this sister
deeper,
speak.
then you think I'm being, Islamic
No,
phobic.
no,
Can I say
no, but you
something?
are, you are
Those
because
Y'all
Muslims who
dudes
are
keep
being
on
killed,
talking about the same
hold
thing.
on.
Let the sister
Those
speak.
Muslims, hold on one
Don't
second,
hold
B.
on. You
Those
done.
Muslims who are being killed, allegedly because they're not Muslim enough. They're not the
in
right
fact,
kind of Muslim.
All right. You sound like a Palestinian. Cut it out.
Bro, stop,
Can
man. We're
I
listening to a good
can I say
conversation, man.
something?
Let the
Yeah.
sister
Stop
speak.
cutting this guy
So
off.
they're not just killing them because they hate Muslim. They're killing them because they're not Muslim enough. You know this, Al.
no.
Come
I
on.
don't know that. How do I know that? I don't know that.
Listen.
All I'm
No,
saying is
Northern Nigeria is a
mm,
worst example to have because Northern Nigeria, what is happening there is first of all, it's economical. It's economy, I mean, regarding the socio-economics that's going on there. Secondly, is some religious leaders have hijacked the religion and sort of um, stoking up the trouble. Preaching to these young men, hot-headed, and telling them all sorts of things, and then letting them go out and do what they're doing. And lastly, is failed leadership. Failed leadership, not just the president, also the northern elite in Nigeria. They have failed the youth. They're amassing themselves wealth. These youth children, have you heard about the Amajaris that's going on in northern Nigeria, where parents are just having children? They don't put them through normal education, schooling like everybody else is doing. They just hand them over to some imams whom themselves don't even understand or read the Quran properly. They probably read it in Arabic and they don't really truly understand it. Forcing these young men and women to read the Quran without fully understanding what is going on, they grow up poorly educated in a religion and poorly educated overall. They also see that a lot of poverty around them and they don't see any future for themselves. So if you're living in a society where you feel seriously disenfranchised, so what do you care if you go around killing people or get killed or whatever? They don't care.
Whether they're Muslim or Christian or pagan or non-believers, you don't. The only person that will try to look at it the other way around is someone that have some kind of religious bias or religious bigotry.
We're looking at the data. When I say these things, you think I'm against your religion. The data says that Muslims carry out more attacks on Christians, on fellow Muslims. It's not the other way around.
The data also shows that more Muslims have been killed, in this problem than Christians. So how does that make any sense?
We all have our biases. We all have our biases, you see. And I can have a bias, and people will say maybe I have a bias against Nigerians, but it may be true. We all have our biases. And if you sometimes from a one religion, you have.
No, when it comes to religion, honestly, when it comes to religion, I don't. When it comes to religion, I will choose Elvis as my own black brother more than I would listen. I would listen.
We're looking for solutions, right?
I will if I have to choose. Listen, I will choose you over a Muslim brother from northern Nigeria. If me and you live in this
no problem. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying, right? We're looking at problems. Most of the people on these panels are smart people, right? So we're analyzing problems and their roots. 1 second, please. Let me say this for 10 seconds. We're analyzing problems and their roots. When you look at Nigeria, right, and you can look at the corruption, that's a huge problem in Nigeria. And the second, if it's not the first actual problem, is the banditry and the terrorism that's going on in a particular region within the country. And that is not unique to Nigeria. And there's a specific group of people or a religion that ideology tends to foster in.
But listen.
Hold on, V. Let me just finish.
Elvis. Okay.
Pointing out the obvious shouldn't be something that should be, discouraged. Islamic terrorism in our region, in West Africa and the Sahel, is a problem. We have to admit it.
If you look at
if it was Christian terrorism, we would be saying the same thing.
Elvis.
Yes.
In West Africa,
let me just respond to him. You can speak.
They say the population dynamism going on. Majority of the people in West Africa are Muslims. Yeah, they're
majority.
not all majority of people in West Africa will be Muslim because you have countries that are maybe 80% Muslims. You have countries like Ghana, which have about 70% Christian. And you have Nigeria, which is bordering on half and half. Then you have other parts like Togo and this, which their numbers are really not that many. So if you look at the population dynamics, the majority of the people in West Africa are Muslims. We live cheek by jowl with each other. We are not all, I tell you a story. My sister, they move into a new place, and then there was this guy came from I think he said she's from maybe Mali or something, came to live next door, and then there was a mosque, right next door to their house, and because it's such a densely populated, and so area is predominantly Christian as well. So they didn't used to use the loudspeaker for early morning calls. They used to the person would just go up in the minaret and then start calling out, and the people would go and pray. Now this old man put in the minaret, and that was an early morning call with the minaret. It was very loud. So my sisters and a few others went to it and said, "Oh, Chief, you got to stop this. Do the traditional." I said, "Oh, this is the way we do it." He was a new one there. So they found out that where he was coming from, there was actually a lot of fighting going on there, and he hated. Well, one day there was a period where they were celebrating something, so they started putting up firecrackers and those things that explode. What is it called? Fireworks, yeah. And they started exploding it that day, And the man was panicking. He came to my sister and said to them, "Oh, why were you guys doing this?" And it was so scary. And then he explained to where he was coming from. There was a lot of fighting, and he said about shooting and bombing, so it scared him. So my sister and a few others had this discussion with him. So, well, Chief, the best thing to do is don't do the early morning call in a loudspeaker. Do it the normal way they were doing it, and you're not going to have any trouble. As the man said, okay. And they settled the matter there. So, I mean, we all trouble each other in one way or the other. And it's not all Muslims in West Africa that's causing the trouble.
And
it's a
V,
few
and
people.
also,
You cannot blame the
V, one
northern
second,
elite in Nigeria. The northern elite that has let their young people down is causing the trouble.
Listen to this. V, listen to this. 11 out of 40 of terrorists sponsored, and according to the list that been released by the Americans, are from the southeastern Nigeria. They come from the Igbo tribe. 11.
You're doing a disingenuous thing, and I'm always going to push back when you do that. Who are the IPOP killing? IPOP going to northern Nigeria and bombing them and killing them and going to mosques and killing them?
All right, let me comment, guys. So,
bro, you're being disingenuous, man.
I don't like to talk about
Africa.
I don't like to talk about religion when it comes down to religion, but religion is a big problem for Africa. Whether Christianity or Islamic religion, it is a big problem. So, what View was talking about is that when you go to a certain part of Nairobi or
Elvis, are you Igbo?
On Sunday, right?
Elvis, are you Igbo?
Yeah.
I'm not Igbo, but I don't like when you're being unfair to them. Because go ahead, CD. I don't want to interrupt CD.
No, but why are you defending that ethnic group that is causing problems? Is it because they're Christian? They belong to the same ethnic group?
No, hold on. Let's CD speak. I don't want to speak.
No. Let me just reason with you because I noticed.
I don't want to hog the conversation. It's getting too much. Let other people speak in the panel. We'll come up to it.
I just mentioned that this ethnic group they actually have 11 names who sponsor terrorism. He just pushed the conversation away.
Well, come on. I mean, that's when you say things like that, you're insulting my intelligence because we know what's going on. We know that the killings are coming from Fulani bandits. We know that the people going to churches and killing people on Facebook where you see people being slaughtered in churches. They're not happening by the IPOP people from the southeast. We know those things.
You're not listening.
In Nigeria, in the Igbo areas, there's certain areas that the terrorism going on. They're so bad. They've run some of the towns.
Terrorists.
People have left. It's a big problem.
You don't talk about them, and they're Christians. This guy got a problem with Fulani people and defending Igbo people. I don't know how much they're paying him. Are you being paid by them to come and defend them, Elvis?
Religion is a big problem for.
After CD, I'll answer you.
No.
You have to let other people speak, bro. Come on now. We've been talking. Let them speak too.
I just want to find out what is your agenda here because
I will explain. I will get a chance and I will articulate it. Let the guy speak. I'll get my chance.
So
you can't explain it.
With the modern technology now.
See, 1 second. Do you know the governor of Anambra? The governor of Anambra, an Igbo man. He said 99% of the killing that goes on in Anambra State, which is an Igbo state. He said, do not believe what they say online that they say is Fulani doing the killing. He said, I'll put my hands up and swear to my
Nobody is saying that.
The killings in Anambra State is not done by Fulani, it's done by Igbo, but they will claim it's Fulani.
Nobody is saying that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Nobody is saying that. All right?
So why are you defending these people?
Now that you want me to answer, let me hold on. Now that you want me to answer, let me answer.
Are you a terrorist sympathizer?
Can I answer now? All right. In full disclosure, everybody on this platform knows I'm a Christian, right? Full stop.
I don't care about Islam.
Don't think you don't care. You asked me to answer. Let me answer. Now you don't want me to speak. I mean, come on, man. I don't want us to fight. I want us to have an intelligent conversation.
But
you're very one-sided. I agree that that's
Christian, which isn't native to Africa. How does that work?
You're not included in the conversation. Your brain is too small to comprehend. So be quiet, stay in the back. My point here is that we know patterns. You know, the hallmark of an intelligent person is being, able to recognize patterns. I'm not speaking with you, bro. Relax.
That's not your.
So when we look at the pattern of the terrorism happening in our continent, in our region in particular, we have a specific group of people who call themselves, if they're not calling themselves the Islamic State in West Africa, ISWAP, province, the Islamic State in West Africa province, ISWAP, the word is in there, Islamic. So when I say Islamic, I'm not targeting the religion. I'm saying the ideology that these people profess, that there are Islamic groups who are terrorizing our region, right? In Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, in Nigeria, these people are operating. They're killing many people, and it's been sustained for many years. This is an issue. This is a problem. We can call it out.
They've been sponsored by Christian. They've been sponsored and given the guns by Christians.
So you're saying they're too stupid? They're being sponsored by their enemies, quote unquote, to kill other Christians. Is that what you're saying?
Again, you're ignoring all the.
You don't put the blame where it belongs. You always swift the blame to the white man or other Christians. It's never the blame of the Fulani Muslims who are doing the terrorism. It's never the blame is not on them 100%. It's always somebody else who's controlling something.
Now you're going to travel again.
No, I'm just saying. You're saying is that they're being controlled, they're being sponsored.
Majority of the terrorists in the Sahel are Tuaregs and other tribes. You have Fulani who are also.
It's not just Fulanese. I'm not talking for. I'm just saying the terrorists.
But why are you mentioning the minority of the people in there?
Okay, take away the Fulani because that's personal for you. But they're Muslim. There's a religious ideology that's driving them. Right? Can we agree on that?
Majority of the terrorists who came to Sierra Leone and destroyed Sierra Leone, they came from your people in Liberia. Well, does that mean we're gonna have to just go into Liberia and wipe every Liberian out?
Look, people got prosecuted for those things that happened with the RUM and the ATF. They got prosecuted for it, right? But that's not going on now. That's not a sustained thing. That was a thing that happened in a point in time because of diamonds and Charles Taylor was.
Do you know what? Do you know what I find about what I find with most Africans? Listen, I come from Sierra Leone. We are the most religious tolerant country in probably the entire African continent. Okay.
No, I wouldn't say that. There's a lot of countries in Africa that are also very religiously
if you Google it,
I would say that Sierra Leone.
Don't take my word for it.
It's a very religious.
Don't take my word for it.
It's like Tanzania.
Have you ever heard me attack the Muslims of Sierra Leone? Have you ever heard me attack the Muslims of Sierra Leone?
Huh?
You've never heard me attack Muslims in Sierra Leone or Ghana or the Ivory Coast. Because they're not a problem. They're not killing other people.
What I'm intolerant Christians, just like intolerant Muslims. Okay. Listen. Let me make a point. There are people who are Christian who have zero tolerance for Christians and Muslims, and they have.
Show me those people going there and killing the Muslims. Show me them. Show me the groups where they go and kill Muslims because they're intolerant of them.
Let me make my point. Okay. So some people show zero tolerance for Muslim and they're Christian. I live in the UK. There are people who are not even Christian who call themselves so-called Christians. They don't like Muslims, and we find them everywhere. In the West.
They don't act on it. They don't go and commit violence on that hatred or that intolerance.
We have Muslims who have zero tolerance for Christians. No,
there are people who have biases. People who have biases across
exactly. And I don't
bias. Christians that have bias against Muslims.
I don't have that.
I mean, in Ghana, for instance, let me tell you.
One second. I don't have that. I'll pass it, Mike. I don't have that. But when I hear that in other people, it annoys me because I'm very, very balanced and so in the middle when it comes to religion.
Yeah, but
me, honestly,
Africa, that is what a lot of Muslims are. Very balanced-minded people.
Very balanced. When I hear someone like Elvis, who I think is Elvis comes from a majority Christian country. Yeah, who are next door. We know your ideology.
Hey guys,
we know
sorry to interrupt, but we have to close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, family. Dynasty Search for Peace.